Hi, everyone.
Hi, Angel.
Hi, Chris. Chris was not supposed to come on tonight,
But
but
but she just couldn't live without me. So
no, actually, that's not true. But I'm happy that you're here. MRE is coming on, and I'm very excited over that. There's something that I want to say. Okay. Somebody left a comment on Hi Ange. Someone left a comment on the last stream that on the last show that Chris and I did, that they hear sniffing. That's not either one of us sniffing. that,
I
that
didn't see this comment.
yeah, I saw it. I heard the sniffing. No, it's not sniffing. No one is sniffing anything. That's my vape. I vape. So I'm not sniffing. If you hear this, that's me vaping. Then my daughter had said to me, my daughter said, Mom, you have to change the way you start the show. You start out by saying, Hello, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? She said, Don't do that. So she said, You have to think of a way to start your shows. So I said, Well, how do I do that? And she said, I don't know. How does Tucker open his show? I said, Well, he says, Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tucker Carlson show. And so then we started laughing. But she said, I need to open it, not saying, Can you hear me? So, okay. Then there was something else. Now, I don't want to fight with anybody on YouTube. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be dragged into their nonsense. Just not doing it. But someone said today that I need people to defend me. That's not true. I've never asked anyone ever to defend me or my family. Of course, I appreciate it when they do, but I've never asked a single person to do that. I have also never, ever asked someone to choose between their friend or me. I've never done that. I just want to get that out. And I've never needed anyone to do anything for me except for Chris. So they said that they think that I don't need people to do what I'm doing right now. And no, I don't need anyone, but I did need Chris because Chris did everything for me. He set this whole thing up for me. So I did need Chris, and I appreciate you, Chris, for doing everything for me.
I appreciate you, Angel, and people should be so lucky to have someone like you to defend them. So,
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you.
true.
But I appreciate. No. Wait, let me mute. Hold on.
So while Angel's dealing with the collection of wild animals she has, I guess I'm going to take this over. Yeah, I wasn't going to come on tonight. I thought MRE says I will go on in a bit. Looking forward to that as always. I caught the end of Kane Shade's show tonight with Justice Tech Pros. Excuse me. Dominic said something really interesting. Something that I think a lot of people can relate to, at least on this side of the fence. If you became like, it doesn't just apply to becoming an informant, but if you sell your soul, if you break your bond with yourself, with who you are, the things you believe in, yeah, some people would have a problem looking in the mirror, and that can apply to all kinds of things. If you like, I was in, to give a totally different kind of an example, I was in a fraternity in college, and it's like, if we would say, if people dropped, like if they quit the pledging process, like how could these people like walk around campus with everybody staring at them like, oh, you weren't tough enough, or you couldn't bang it out or whatever. It can apply to a lot of things. But yeah, integrity doesn't have a price, and if you sell your soul, you can't get it back. You only get one. Um, and Dominic said something interesting. He said, I don't want to misquote it, but he said that we're a minority on YouTube, or maybe just in general, that a lot of people are. I don't want to misquote it, but that people give these cooperators platforms, and it's one thing just to have a cooperator on a show, and hey, if they want to be a rat, they want to go and follow the government script, or if they want to be informed, that's on them. It's a whole different thing when you get up there and you're just lying about people. That's completely different, especially when you're telling disgusting lies about people and trying to recreate history. To me, that's the difference between somebody being a witness and somebody being a rat. A rat is when, in my opinion, is you're just out there lying about people. It's like it wasn't even. That's my take on it. I wouldn't want to play for the other team, even if there was 200 of them and 5 of us. I wouldn't want to play on that team where just people, because if they'll sell their own soul, what would they do to you? What would they sell you for? So that's my take on it.
Well,
but yeah, I'm going to go back and listen to that show from the beginning. I just caught the end of it.
Who? Oh, Kane Shades?
Yeah. You're back?
Yes, I've been back. I'm just listening to you.
Oh, I thought you were out, like trying to find the muzzles or something. But yeah, that's a joke. She doesn't muzzle her dogs. But
I don't muzzle them. No, I'll just it went because my daughter will be home from work soon, so I know when she's going to be coming, they're going to go crazy barking. So I'll just mute it until they calm down. But so what did you do for Thanksgiving? I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I forgot to say that to everyone.
I got together with family. It's
yeah.
I put something in my Instagram story on Thanksgiving because it's something I was thinking about, but it definitely applies to the holidays as well. I said something that let me see if I can find it here. Maybe I'll just read it if I still have it here. Hang on a second. And my phone is being slow. I put, today is a day to make beautiful memories, not horrible ones. Have fun, enjoy your loved ones, but do not drink or smoke and drive. Forget ruining your own life. You could ruin the lives of others. Thanksgiving is a day to be thankful, not irresponsible. And I was just thinking about that. And please, if you're going to be drinking during the holiday season or any time in any season, take an Uber, take a cab, Lyft, bicycle ride. Well, maybe not bicycle ride, but it ain't just you. You're putting everybody else at risk and their families who are going to have to live with their loved one being gone or paralyzed or whatever. So please don't do it.
Yes, especially since your dogs won't understand why you haven't come home. Yeah. Maureen used to say that all the time.
Yeah, and it's like the shame. Like your kids have to live with the shame of you have kids or your family. Oh, where's your son? Oh, he's in jail for what? Oh, he's doing 18 months because he killed somebody in a car accident or whatever. So
well, yeah, exactly. I had my best friend when I was 18, my best friend, I just kissed her goodbye. And I said, I'll meet you by your house. 15 minutes later, she was gone. So it's not, don't.
I mean, driving as it is probably the most dangerous thing you could do with your life because there's so many different variables, other cars. You don't know who on the road knows how to drive or doesn't, or is texting, not paying attention. So that alone, it's already dangerous. So to not have your wits with you.
Exactly. But I don't even drink. I used to drink, but I don't know. I don't know why. I got older and I just have no desire to even, maybe I think the last time I drank was at my son's wedding. And that was like I had maybe 3 drinks.
I don't remember you being drunk.
No, I wasn't drunk. That's the last time I drank.
I mean, the way you were dancing, everything, you looked drunk. You were going a little nuts on the dance floor. But
you were so
do you remember? I don't want to give this bozo any credibility or any views or anything. But do you remember there was some clown, one of these groupies or whatever, who was writing online that I was only invited to your family's weddings because of him? Because do you remember this?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What?
Do you remember there was a bozo who gives these cooperators a platform to push their lies and everything? And he was writing something that, yeah, Chris, you're only going to those weddings because of me, because I gave you a platform, or whatever crazy thing he said. I was like, what? I was like, what is this guy talking
Oh,
about?
the
I don't want to
Lieber,
mention.
Liber,
I don't want to give him any views or anything.
Liber, Liber.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
what a clown.
Well, I wasn't drinking. I mean, I wasn't drunk or anything like that. I would never do that. I would never embarrass my son or my whole family. But no, I just don't have a desire to drink. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. It just I don't know.
I mean, I'll have a couple of drinks at a wedding, or like,
Yeah.
kicking it with old friends, like something social like that. But I really don't drink often. Like, like it's not a frequent thing for me. It's not my thing.
Yeah, me neither. So what I did yesterday was my daughter didn't want to do anything. She's, a little down because of her father dying. So what I did was I made her lasagna, and while the lasagna was cooking, a certain supermarket lied and said that they would be open until 3:30. And so I got there, I went all the way there, and I got there, it was 1:30, and they lied. They were closed. And I had to do this because I didn't have any more dog treats. I didn't know. I thought my daughter had some downstairs in her apartment, but she didn't. So I had to go searching for dog treats. And then I came back, and we just, we hung out talking, and then she went, downstairs, and then that was it. And then a little while later, I finally got her to like help me decorate. I was like, Vic, let's just do the windows. And she never wants to say no to me, but I knew she really wasn't in the mood to do it. But I knew she would do it for me. But I just wanted to occupy her mind, keep her like, and we ended up having fun. We laughed and we had a good time decorating the windows. So it was good. It was a good Thanksgiving.
Were you playing music in the background?
No,
No.
I didn't want to push it. No.
So it means you were probably playing MRE in the background.
As a matter of fact,
Victoria, I'm telling you, you got to listen to this guy.
as a matter of fact, this is what happened. I was so upset too because, we were doing the windows, and I didn't know anything was going on, and we were about to we were done then, and I says, all right, let's take the garbage out. We take the garbage out together, and as I walk past my phone, I just clicked it, and I see that MRE was on because I had an alert from him. And I was so mad because I missed it. I caught like the last 10 minutes of it. And it was a good one. It was the MRE did the Gravano and Michael Francis argument that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. I caught that. So what I did was I only caught 10 minutes of it. So I rewind and watched the whole thing from the beginning. That's the only way I will watch any of these people. Yeah, I don't watch anything that has to do with Gravano. I don't watch anything that has to do with any of them. But
it would be funny if one of these people asked you, Angel, did you see my show last night? Like, no, but I saw, MRE, pick it apart and call out all your lies. So that was fun. But.
And that's how I'll watch them. That's how I'll watch them. Seriously. I mean, I said this 100 times. I'll take 10 Michael Francis over one Gravano any day. But I have to put my phone on quiet. Excuse me. But anyway, I just got an alert for this show.
For what? For your own show?
Yeah. So that's it. And then I'm excited that MRE is going to come on. I know you said you didn't want to do a whole show, so you were letting me come on by myself tonight, and then suddenly you heard he was coming on, and then you suddenly wanted to come on.
No, I said I'll come on for a few minutes because I didn't think I was going to be able to do a show tonight, and then I came on. I got home and I turned on my phone, And I turned on YouTube, and I heard Kane Shades and Dominic talking, and I was like, oh, and that's why I messaged you. Are you still going live? I'll come on if you want to.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that you did, but I just want to let everyone know that I don't need Chris to come on. I'm just happy to have him on.
Not what you told me.
I even made Chris a co-host. How's that?
What? Angel, these stories of yours, I don't know.
So that's it.
Well, no, we've been talking on and off for 5-6 years about we should co-host the show together.
Exactly.
A long time. We just never did it. But
exactly.
And as we've said, we recorded several shows together and we just never published them. But
no, exactly. And I'm going to say this again because for some reason I keep getting dragged into things, and I'm just going to say this one more time. I don't want to be a part of any trashing of other YouTube people. I don't want to be a part of the fighting because
it's stupid.
No, but besides that, because I get like a pain in my stomach because no matter what happens, it always bounces back to me. It always gets then the next thing you know, my brother gets trashed, my father gets trashed, my uncle gets talked about. When seriously, nobody has any right to be discussing anything that has to do with my uncle, especially that none of you even know anything. You don't know the damn thing about him. Stop talking about him. What's that noise?
Nothing. Keep going.
Oh, I don't know why these people have to keep bringing up my uncle. Leave him alone. He just got out of prison after how many years?
My take on it. My take on it is to go on there and just start fighting with other YouTube channels. It's almost like, I don't want to say scripted, but all these people are acting like, yeah, I hate this guy. No, I'm gonna call him out. But they all like it though, because they're all getting it's like a nightly show. They're all
I don't even watch anyone anymore.
But to me that stuff's like a waste of life. Like, what? I'm gonna go on YouTube and just argue with people that I don't even know in some other state that I've never met. It's ridiculous.
I don't even watch anyone anymore. It's like everything is unwatchable. Like why do these people all want to fight with each other? I just don't understand it. Oh,
MRE said drop the link.
Yeah, I am. Hold on. Oh. Okay. I'm getting better at this.
Apparently not.
Yes, I am now. Shush.
If you were, I wouldn't be here.
They do it for attention and subs. Yeah. Hold on, Mickey. Hold on 1 second. I just want to do something. I'm going to mute you for 1 minute. You talk, Chris. 1 second.
What? She wants to say that she don't need me. I'm going to add MRE to the stream. MRE, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
What's going on?
You know what I've been watching since you did that show about the Cleveland abduction? I went down like a rabbit. I went down I didn't watch your show, but I just saw that you posted about it, and maybe I saw like 20 seconds of it. But I went down a rabbit hole and I started looking it up and everything. I spoke to Angel about it on the phone.
Sick, huh?
And I went and I watched all these videos and like where the girls are now and everything.
Yeah.
That's and I never knew the whole story. I still don't know the whole story, but they were. I don't know if you did it on your show or not, but
yeah, I did.
I apologize. But if you covered this already, but it's like some of the girls were describing some of the horrors that went on in that house. I was just like, oh my god, like I had no idea.
A pure horror show. I've studied that case pretty well, and I know a lot about it. And I've watched all the girls' interviews, all the horrors. It was totally sadistic. And he played psychological games with them.
Yeah, turn them against each other, everything.
Yes, exactly. Leave doors unlocked, and they think they're coming out, and boom, he attacked. It was just brutal. Very, very sick.
One of the girls said I think she was on Dr. Phil, and she said that she got pregnant like 5 times by this guy.
Yeah, Michelle Knight.
He made her have abortions. Like he would stomp on her stomach or hit her on the stomach with a weight and do all kinds of crazy things. And he made her have like a miscarriage, and he made her hold the fetus in her hand with like a head, like a body.
And he also made her deliver the baby of Amanda Berry's baby, because he looked at Amanda Berry as his wife figure, and he looked at her as the wife figure. Michelle Knight was just the punching bag. He brutalized. So that poor girl's like, why didn't you let me keep my babies? You let Amanda keep her babies. It was just really sick. Her baby, the baby that the 4-year-old. Yeah. Very sick how he played them off on each other.
And I saw in one show, I think it was in Dr. Phil, that so the guy Ariel Castro, I don't know what's true or not. Who knows, but Ariel Castro's family, they went on multiple shows on CNN and different networks and everything, Fox, whatever. And I think maybe part of it was they wanted to clear their own names, and they were saying we had no idea this was going, like his brothers, his daughter, in-laws, whatever. They were going on different shows, and we had no idea this was taking place. Yeah, he was a little weird, but we didn't know about any of this. And then Michelle Knight, the punching bag one, she said on Dr. Phil that there was one time when his family came over. There was a bunch of relatives and like their boyfriend, their daughters and their boyfriends or whatever. It was, I think she said it sounded like there were 6 people there, and they wanted to search the house because they heard there were 3 girls there, and they went through the house, but they didn't check the basement or for whatever reason where the 3 girls were being held. And again, I don't know if this is true or not, or who knows, but if they had any indication that they were, and they didn't check that house top to bottom, I mean, oh my God. I mean, you really have to wonder whether they played any involvement in that or turned a blind eye or whatever, or maybe they didn't. But it's if they didn't have any involvement, that's really sad for them, because people are always going to wonder about them. Did you know about that?
Of course. Yeah, people always going to take that. From what I seen of it, I don't. Maybe they thought something was weird going on, but I don't think they had nothing to do with it, because the girls would have probably said they've seen him or been abused by them. Yeah. But it's really just a real sick tale. He did have his band play in the house, like they would play music in there and stuff at times too.
Hi, Emery.
How you doing, Angel?
How are you?
All right, just took the dogs out real quick.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can literally. I took them out and I took a picture. The moon's hitting Mount Rushmore at such a beautiful point right now. I had to take a picture of it. No, I got a real good view from my yard. So when the moon's out like this,
are you listening, Panisi? You said you wanted to find him, right?
Yeah. Well, I got my Ouija board later, so I'll be talking to John later.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said the spirits of his grandparents or whatever told him to go lie about everyone on the witness stand.
Yes, how shook. These people are insane. Because then there's one other thing, using religion for lies. It's like, what the hell? They have to rationalize it in his head, I guess. Who knows?
I mean,
any snow in South Dakota? Not yet. The snow will be coming shortly. I look because I go sledding. I love going sledding. I have a little toboggan, and I have my little hat with the little propeller on top, and I go down, and my propeller, when it spins, it makes a sound. It's like a woo sound. So I fly down that hill, and I just feel like liberated. That's like me on the edge. That's my dangerous thing that I do is sledding. Like some people skydive, some people jump off cliffs. I go sledding.
A friend of mine broke his hip sledding.
I know.
It up. Yeah, you can get hurt sledding if you go down a steep hill.
Exactly. Sledding is no joke. I started as a young kid sledding some of the mountains around here.
And practicing, you got better at it.
I was getting better at it over the years go on, and then I met my Mr. Miyagi. There was a guy who taught me.
He made you a custom sled, waxed the bottom of it,
somewhat, but it was somewhat like that. But he was my Miyagi, and he taught me to be a great sledder. There's a lot of things in sledding. There's also the whole mind thing, mind over matter, and techniques in sledding, especially when you're racing. Now, I race other sledders. We race with toboggans. And sometimes you can race for pink slips, you know. I never lost a sled. I never lost one of my sleds to any of the. Sometimes I race some of my Indian buddies. Who?
And what is the pink slip? Is that like the receipt from Walmart for $25?
Well, that's in the racing games they say we're gonna for pink slips with cars. So we just we just say pink slips, so it's joke, and it's really just giving your sled up to the winner of the race, the toboggan race. Well, and there's rules too. You cannot put wax or any kind of oil on the bottom of your sled to help you get ahead of anyone else. It's just pure old-fashioned sledding, old school. Read in the chat.
MRE was a stunt double in Cool Runnings. That was a good movie.
Yeah, Cool Runnings was good. What was that? John Candy, one of his last movies? No, Canadian Bacon was one of his last movies.
Uncle Bob? Wasn't that the
No, Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck. That
Uncle
was a
Buck.
good movie. Yeah, him and Macaulay
like the 48-ounce steak or whatever, or like the 72-ounce whatever. You know that giant.
What was that? And that wasn't an Uncle Buck. That was in with the beer with Dan Aykroyd, Outdoors. The Great Outdoors you're talking about with Dan Aykroyd when he had to eat the big steak to win. Yeah, that was with Dan Aykroyd. That was funny though. That was a funny movie. That was.
Did you see the new Ghostbusters movie?
No, I haven't. I liked Ghostbusters back in the old days in the 80s. But
Dan Aykroyd's in the new one. But none of them compared to the original. None of them. So.
Yeah, no. Usually, the only sequels that were really good was what Godfather Part 2. They said Jaws 2 was a good sequel. There's some other ones that had good sequels, but not many movies really do have good sequels. Some do.
It's tough to recreate the magic, and get a good script again.
What do you think about Terminator 2? I thought that was a good sequel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was awesome. That was probably better than the original, or equal to it, if anything. Well, it's not a fair comparison because the original Terminator didn't have a big budget. It was a low budget independent movie that barely got financed.
Yeah, remember when they had him, it was a cartoon when they showed the Terminator.
When James Cameron pitched that movie, he said that
I'm back.
He said that he walked into the production office at the studio for the meeting to get the fine. He walked in covered in I want to say aluminum foil or something because he was trying to show them what the Terminator would look like. He walked in yeah.
Well, I thought Terminator 2 was cool where the guy was liquid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it showed how, and I liked it because of this. It wasn't no girl power movie. It showed a strong woman like Sarah Connor without being over, she could jump kick big men. And it was realistic. You know what I mean? Sarah Connor was a great character, especially in Part 2.
That was his wife for a time. James Cameron, he was married to her.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. James Cameron's the one who played the liquid bad Terminator, correct?
No. He was the writer and the director. He's the guy that was his vision. And then he never directed any of the sequels or anything. But the original, the first two, that was he was
the first one. And
he was like a truck driver, but he was really smart. He studied physics and stuff. And but I think it was more I could be wrong, but I think he was self-educated. He would just go to the library and read about physics and all these crazy things. And he got a job as a truck driver. And while he was a truck driver, he wrote this screenplay, and he got a job as a director on Piranhas 2, the sequel to the first Piranhas movie. I've never seen any of them, but he got fired from it and I think what he said was that he was outshining his bosses almost. He had he wanted to make it. He was trying to make it a really cool movie, but they just dude, just do this. But he was really trying to make it into something. This stupid little movie, and he got fired for it. And then he went and he pitched Terminator, and it got made.
That's amazing. If you look at a lot of things in Terminator, how machines are taking over, you're kind of wow, is that going to really happen?
Yeah. No,
now, did you see the other ones? I did. I didn't like a few of the other sequels, but I did like the one. It was called Terminator versus something where, what was it? It had the kid Kyle Reese as a little kid, and there was a Terminator that thought he was human or something. That one was pretty good, but some other ones I didn't like. It was too outrageous.
I saw them, but in my humble opinion, because it's so difficult to even get a movie made. So it's like I'm hesitant to even criticize them because just getting it made is something, getting all these different people together. But they drifted away from the spirit of the originals. It's like without James Cameron there writing and directing it, they just weren't the same. And what about Bill Murray? That's a funny.
That's a funny movie. Baby steps. Baby
steps get on the bus. Baby steps get on the bus.
Baby steps. Baby steps get on the bus, and he's got the goldfish. He's carrying the goldfish. Or how about when he's eating? It's just so good. And that guy Dreyfus is going insane. And his wife and his kids like, stop! Don't be so hard on him. That was one of the funniest movies. He tried to blow him up, and he's
Bill Murray is like an OG because what that guy does, there's all these like myths out there about him that like he'll be walking through some random city and he just like crashes people's birthday parties. Like you could be in a restaurant and he'll just walk in, eat fries off your plate, not say anything, and walk out. But he gets away with it because he's Bill Murray. There's just all these myths about him.
I think he's one of the funniest ones that come out of the Saturday Night Live cast. I think he was better than Chevy Chase. I think Chevy Chase is funny in some movies, but there's no touching Bill Murray when it comes to the comic genius. Bill Murray's a funny guy, man. The What About Bob was hilarious.
Yeah, in the original Ghostbusters, like they're about to kill the Ghostbuster or trap the Ghostbuster, but he's like, wait, hold on a second. He wants to pull like the sheet off the table, the tablecloth. He's like, and the flowers are still standing.
Yeah, Murray's probably one of the best to come off that first Saturday Night Live cast, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Oh yeah, funny dude. Now Aykroyd was funny too, but I think Murray's funnier. Like look at him in Caddyshack. He could just do so many of these funny characters, and the humor that he has is just horrendous. The Three Amigos was very funny. Yeah, The Three Amigos was another one.
He can do drama too, though. He's not just like comedy. He's a brilliant actor.
It was like Robin Williams. That guy was like funny, but he could also do like drama and stuff like that.
Good Will Hunting, where he plays a therapist. Brilliant.
That was good. Yeah. Hey, bub, you got a chip on your shoulder? Hey, bub. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that movie. The kid was like in MIT. What was that? Harvard or MIT or something?
He's a janitor at MIT, and self-educated. He just had a genius brain. He was reading books, and he got a job at MIT, but he lacked like, I don't want to say self-confidence, but he had a past that was holding him back, and Robin Williams' character helps him like break through it, and at the same time, he helps Robin Williams because he's grieving over the loss of his wife, his sweetheart, and it's a brilliant movie. I
like when he says when he like picks him apart for the picture on the wall with the guy with the boat, and Robin Williams like grabs him. And he's like, "Oh, I'll break your neck, bub," or something like that.
He goes talk about like disrespect my wife. He's like, "I will end you." That's it. Like, I'll end you.
Because he was so cocky and funny, the Matt Damon character. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he just couldn't handle him at first, and then they became really good friends. It was a real good movie.
Yeah,
Good Will Hunting.
And that was a case of it has an origin story similar to Terminator in the sense that James Cameron, people wouldn't give him a job, so he created a job. And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they weren't getting the roles they wanted or whatever. So like, you know what? We'll just write roles for ourselves. And they wrote this script, and and
they wrote that
attention, and it got made.
Wait, they wrote that script, Matt Damon and them?
Yeah, they were childhood friends, whatever. They grew up together or high school friends, something like that. And yeah, they wrote that script together.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was brilliant. They wrote those roles for themselves. And the story is they had it set up at a studio, and I forget, they were having problems with like they made a big sale. They sold it for like, I don't know, 600,000, 7.5, whatever it was in the 90s, because there was a big there was a big independent film boom then, and people were buying, from what I'm told by screenwriters who were around in the 90s, like you wouldn't even need to finish a script to sell it. If you had 10 good pages, you could sell those and say, yeah, we're gonna finish the script. It was a huge buying frenzy, and they sold this script, but they had director approval. I think that's what it was. And they wanted Gus Van Sant to direct it, but the studio didn't want him. They wanted somebody else, and they were like, and they were having big problems over it. So they said, well, what if we can get a different studio to finance it with Gus Van Sant? And they said, okay. get us another studio. You have this amount of time to get somebody else to finance it, and then they can buy the movie from us, or we buy you guys out and we cast other people. We cast like Leo DiCaprio and somebody else in your roles, and we choose the director. And and Harvey Weinstein ended up, Kevin Smith, the filmmaker who they were friends with, brought it to Harvey Weinstein, who was financing Kevin Smith's movies, and he bought it, and they got the director they wanted, and they didn't want the actress either. They wanted a different girl to play the love interest.
Oh, Minnie Driver, I think, just like Saw, the movie Saw.
The studio wanted somebody like a cute little blonde or whatever, but they were like, no, we want her, the English girl, and Harvey Weinstein gave them the money for it, and the rest is history. It was a brilliant movie, won Oscars, it was great.
Now, Saw was also an independent movie that only took a little bit of a budget, and it was a big popular hit.
Yeah.
The Saw movie, the first one, though, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah, the Minnie Driver played a good part in that show, in that movie. See, I still call them films. I'm like stuck in the old days, living with old people with my grandmother and stuff. So I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to watch my film. I'm going to go watch my films.
Oh, it was a film. They shot it on film. It wasn't like a digital video. It was a film, technically.
Well, people don't really use film, though, and say, hey, I'm going to go watch a film or stuff like I'll watch my stations and stuff.
I don't like scary movies.
They're okay.
I liked them when I was younger. My daughter loves them. In fact, my daughter loves every single Chucky movie there is. when want to hear a funny story? When my daughter, how old were you, Vic? About 3, 4? Oh, yeah, you could talk now.
You didn't tell her she was in the room, Angel.
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, about 4, I think. And we went to the mall. We were going Christmas shopping, and my daughter's tiny, so she was even tinier than say she was 4. She didn't look 4. She looked younger. So we're going through the mall, and she spots, those Chucky dolls that had suction cups on their hands, and you would put it on your car window.
Yeah.
And Chucky would be staring at you. That's what she wanted. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she started crying, Mommy, please. Mommy, please. I need to have him. It's Chucky.
Wow, that's pretty brave. The little kids I knew were pretty terrified of Chucky.
Some of my friends wanted to sleep over.
That's so true.
Well, they were selling the good guy dolls for a while.
Yeah, none of her friends.
It was like the killer one.
It was the killer one. It wasn't a good
like
Chucky.
Real Chucky.
It was like a Chucky with like that with his hands, and you stuck it on your car windows. And I ended up buying it for her because she was crying, Mommy, please, it's Chucky. I need to have him. And so I buy it for her. And we're walking around the mall now. And she has the 2 suction cups stuck together so that his arms are around her neck. And she's walking with me going, oh, Chucky, I love you so much. Chucky, I love you.
Well, that's a true horror fan right there, especially a little girl that age loving Chucky.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And people in the mall were just staring at me. She's like, I love you, Chucky.
Because that came out in 88 or 89, Chucky. I was a little kid.
Yeah.
That came out in 89, Chucky. I couldn't go see it, but I rented it from a Blockbuster in South Dakota, right near the Indian Reservation. I rented it from a Blockbuster and watched it, and I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. It was well done. I didn't see many of the sequels. I think I seen the second one or the one where Andy was in a school and stuff, but I started not getting too interested around the 3rd or 4th one, and the Chucky's Bride. I never watched those. But
Oh, that one's great.
I heard they were funny.
That one's like really comical.
See,
Victoria, did you dress up as Chucky for Halloween?
No, but I did get with the Alphabet Land. I got kicked out because I tried to put on the good guy clothes.
Yeah. She kind of got kicked out of nursery school.
Not really. Like they just preferred that I left.
Because of Chucky?
Because of Chucky, I was obsessed with him, and I guess I scared the other kids.
Hilarious. Oh, that's too funny. Oh man.
One of my cousins got kicked out of grade school because I made him watch Goodfellas. I put it on, and he was like a little kid, and he covered his eyes like in the first scene when they're stabbing the guy in the trunk. I was like, no, dude, if you're gonna watch this with me, you have to just watch it. You can't cover your eyes. He's like, okay, and then he was like, I forget what it was, but he made like some threats. He didn't know any better. He was a kid, but he was like talking about I was like, I'll stab you in the trunk like Joe Pesci or whatever, and he got kicked out over it.
Oh no, I'll never forget, because my cousin's girlfriend owned the school. At the time they were boyfriend and girlfriend, so her parents owned the school. It was like a little preschool thing.
Wait, Victoria went out with her cousin?
What?
No, her cousin was dating a girl.
My cousin at the time, before they got married, she was his girlfriend. Her parents owned the preschool. So they of course they loved her. My cousin loved her, but she was scaring the other kids. So
they didn't like the Chucky doll.
Yeah, they didn't like the Chucky doll. So they were really nice. They were like, I don't know if she really likes it here.
I really didn't, though. I didn't listen because I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, like she was what, 4? And she was throwing toilet paper up at the ceiling.
My mother and uncle got kicked out of Greek school as kids because they put like thumbtacks on the teacher's chair.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that
was really part of the reason. There was more, but like. So
my father, who like worshipped the ground she walked on, and he's like, Grandpa, what happened? You're the only little girl I ever knew who got kicked out of nursery school. I was like, Dad, he's like, what happened? I said, I don't know. I don't think they really are happy with her there. He's like,
see, I was
didn't have to go there.
I was the teacher's pet. She actually chained me up, and they had a little doghouse in the classroom for me. So I was always good in school. And they would give me biscuits. When I was a good boy, they'd give me biscuits and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
So
Frankie, but no, he was like actually the teacher.
I got beat up a lot.
No, you did not.
Yes, all the kids would attack me, throw lettuce at me, yell, leper, leper, and chase. Ever see Frankenstein with Robert De Niro? Do you remember when they chased Robert De Niro out of that town? It kind of brings back memories of what happened. And I'm getting choked up. But it kind of brings, let me get through this, maybe strong. It kind of reminded me of what I went through. And so I really felt for his character in that movie. And I really thought that maybe I could stop my own and become an actor and take the stage. So what we did is in my backyard, we built a little stage, and I would put on little Shakespearean plays, and the other kids seen it and they beat me up for it. I'm only kidding. That never happened. I know
that never happened. I cannot see you letting anybody beat you up.
No, they really did beat me up. Stuffed me in lockers, put socks in my mouth, kicked me in the head. They chased me. We used to try to play the outsiders, and they would say I was the Socias, and they would beat me up. I always wanted to be Pony Boy. I felt like I deserved to be Pony Boy Curtis.
Stay gold, Emory.
I try to stay gold, Chris. I try. And I knew I deserved Pony Boy, but they gave it to my cousin, and he was Pony Boy Curtis, and they put me as a Soc. One of the ones, they didn't even have any lines. The Soc didn't even have any lines. He was just the one sitting there when Johnny Cage stabbed the other Soc. It's just some tougher earlier times in my life.
My daughter said she loved Pony Boy.
What?
My daughter said she loved Pony Boy.
So did I, but I loved him as a cool dude. I thought he was a pretty cool cat when I was younger, and I always wanted to play Pony Boy Curtis on the silver screen. But never have. I also wanted to be John Wayne for a little while, and it just never panned out.
Well, how could you do that if you have a baby arm?
I bet you're a big Lee Marvin fan. That was another great movie.
Yeah.
Mr. White, Mr. Pink. Those were some good. That was a good movie right there.
Why am I Mr. Pink? Because you're a faggot, all right?
That was a good one. There's some other guy in some other job, and he's Mr. Blow, or whatever he said was. Good nice guy, Eddie. How about the song "Stuck in the Middle" with you clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right? Here I am, and he's burning the guy with the gasoline. His ear off.
What does Michael Madsen say to him? He goes. I don't know if you know this about me, but I like to torture people.
Yeah, I know it's not.
And then he goes through the drive-through with a cop tied up in his trunk. Like he walks in with like, he's like, I went to Taco Bell or whatever. He walks in with like a soda and everything.
Yeah.
I want to show you something. He's got a cop in his trunk that he went through a drive-through with. But...
He's like, Mr. White screaming at me, calling me names. Yeah, that was fun. That was a good movie. Those early Tarantino movies were good, man. They were real good.
My favorite one at all the Tarantino movies was True Romance. Even though he didn't direct it, I think that was the best one at all of them.
You know what? I haven't. I probably seen it, but can't remember it. But I've heard of it a million times. Yeah. Now I've got to watch it since you said that.
He sold the script for like $50,000, which was like the Writers Guild minimum at the time, and he was going to use that. Well, he had two scripts. He had True Romance and
I did see it. All right.
Reservoir Dogs, and he said whichever one I sell first, I'm going to use the money to finance the other one.
Oh, so I didn't know that. Wow.
He sold the script for True Romance, and he was going to make Reservoir Dogs himself. And then instead, he met a producer or whatever, a young guy like him. I forget his name, the guy, but he said, no, just wait before. He's like, I think I can raise money for this. And then the guy's acting teacher was Harvey Keitel's wife, and she gave it to Harvey Keitel, and he called Quentin Tarantino, and the rest was history. Keitel helped them put up the money, get the money for it, and
they had a good cast too.
Great movie.
Yeah, good cast. Buscemi, he played in the movie Fargo too. I like when they shot him in the face, and he's going, "My face is shot. They shot me in my freaking face." It was hilarious. How he played that scene with the hand on his face, bleeding. When the other guy shot him in the face, I just thought that was hilarious for some reason.
I like the line where just like he's like no, this is effed up, man. He's like this is like every time I got caught selling weed to the cops or whatever. I forget what it was in the movie. He's like we should leave right now. This is what it feels like every time I got caught selling weed.
Are you talking about the one who got shots, like Story? How he had to go through his whole story?
Reservoir Dogs. He's talking to Harvey Keitel. We should leave and take the diamonds and leave. The cops are going to come here. And Harvey Keitel's like, no, we'll wait for Papa Joe or Uncle Joe, whatever his name was.
Well, the funny thing is, even if they would have left then, Chris, the cops are already waiting. The whole time they were there, the cops are already waiting.
Watching
the warehouse. So if they did leave, they would have got caught. But yeah, that was a good movie, man.
He might have had a shot to get away.
Man, possibly. It depends how much they had it surrounded or when they first got there, or how, maybe if the first 5 minutes they would have left. Possibly. Well, that guy had that.
Hold on. 305K said True Romance over Pulp Fiction. Casperosa is drunk. I like True Romance better than Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was great too, though. But I think those three movies, Pulp Fiction, True Romance, and Reservoir Dogs, were his best films out of all of them.
What other? I don't even know other films that he does have, but I like
Inglourious Bastards, the Django Unchained. The new one.
I did the Thin Green Line, Green Mile. That was good.
No, that's not Tarantino though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like I would say I would have to agree with him. Everybody's got their different choice. The Midnight Run was great too, but I would say True Romance is a good movie. I do remember which one that is right now. But I like the movie he said better. What was it? Pulp Fiction. I liked Pulp Fiction better though. I liked, what did I like, Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs better? I would say Reservoir Dogs I like better than Pulp Fiction, believe it or not. But they were still two good movies.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't watch either one of them.
They're real good, Angel. You should watch.
Yeah. I don't like violent things. Like.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like
they're comedies though. At the same time, they're black comedies. It's like.
Yeah, I loved Sons of Anarchy. It was my favorite show. I couldn't wait to watch it every Tuesday, but I would cover my eyes half the time.
Do you still have the Jax Teller poster up in the kitchen?
What?
Do you still have the Jax Teller poster up in the kitchen?
I didn't had him in my kitchen. He's on my phone, but he's not in my kitchen.
Which character was that?
Jax.
The
The lead character. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened to him at the end. I only watched 2 of the seasons, and they were pretty good. I enjoyed them. They were good. I think Katie Seagal did a great job.
Yes, I watched it, even though it was so violent. And my daughter and I would watch it together, and I would start covering my eyes, and she would tell me when it was over so then I could watch it again. But I loved Jax, and I loved that show.
You know what I didn't like, though? See, here's the only things where I cringe in movies is rape scenes. Like, I can't watch rape scenes in movies. I don't know why. I picture, like, someone hurting one of my female family members, a wife, if I had one, or something like that. So I can't really watch rape. I always, like, turn my head or fast forward through the rape scenes. Like, when they raped, hit the mom. That was so sad.
The mom, exactly.
Did you watch the Cleveland abduction movie?
No, you know what, Chris? I
heard it was really good. I didn't see it, but I heard it was really good.
I never watched the Cleveland abducted movie. I just, watched a lot about like 4 or 5 documentaries on it, on the case, and I watched all the girls' interviews, and I followed it pretty close. I'm pretty good with that. The Cleveland kidnapping Ariel Castro and stuff. And those girls, especially all 3 of them I hot went out to, but especially the little girl, Gina de Jesus, she was like a really devout religious girl, 14 years old. She was like, do you know she used to do her rosaries? She's like 3 times a day. She was like a devout little Catholic. She was not into boys, no boyfriends, nothing.
And she was friends with his daughter. That's the
all 3 of them were, Chris. All 3 of them girls were friends. That's how he got them, because they all went to middle school with his daughter.
That's why they were comfortable enough getting in his car, going to his house.
Exactly. Now, he told Michelle Knight at first that he had puppies because she was on the way to see her son, because she lost her son. She came from a messed up family. So he told her he had puppies. And instead of puppies, he brutalized the poor kid for 10 years. So I think she was there 12. I'm not sure.
I saw it in she said that because she came from a household where she was abused, sexually abused, all those things.
Yeah.
And she had run away. She was homeless for a while. She was on the streets or whatever as a teenager. And somebody she met, she got pregnant, and she had a 2-year-old son. And she left him in the care. I think it was her uncle or somebody, and the son got abused by the uncle sexually or whatever it was. And I forget the story, but foster care got involved and they took the son.
Yes.
And she was going to a meeting with the foster care people or social services to get her son back to go for an interview, whatever. And she said that she couldn't find the place, like she got lost, or she couldn't, she didn't have a smartphone with a map on it. And she was in a store, like a dollar store or something, asking, "Hey, how do I get here?" And Ariel Castro was there. He said, "Oh, I'll take you." And then when they got in the car, he's like, "Oh, let's go to my house real quick. I have puppies or whatever." See
how little things change? Like, imagine if she just didn't decide to go in that store, or an aunt drove by and picked her up. Just the littlest things in life. Like, man, what a shame. Yeah, he had her, and I think she was there maybe like 4 months alone until he grabbed Amanda Berry, or a year. I think he waited about a year with each one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was about a year in between each one. And,
do you remember that psychic part of it?
Yes, very sad.
Amanda Berry's mother, her daughter was dead.
That was Sylvia Brown. And she used to be on Montel Williams. And I thought the world of her. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I liked her too, Didn't she help some people, actually?
Well, who knows now? Because I was watching it the day she told that mother that her daughter was gone.
Really?
Exactly. I was watching it that day. And she told that mother that, I'm sorry, your daughter is gone. She's not coming back. She's passed on. She's in the next, whatever she said. And after that, then Montel Williams had her on all the time. Then Montel Williams was off. And then when it came out that they found her, that was the first thing that hit me, was that Sylvia Brown told that mother that her daughter was dead.
And she died too. Never got to know. Yes, I did binge watch Lassie, Rin Tin Tin, any dog movie you can think of, or any series I binge watch, and I still do it today. on my TV. I have all the old tapes, and I watch them in my VCR that my Grammy got me. So Cujo, great movie, Anthony also. But yeah, that day, wow. Picture her poor mother going there and being like just totally, and I guess the lady Sylvia, I don't know, maybe she really thought that was it. Maybe she wasn't doing it to be vicious, but that's why I don't really agree with these psychics. But I think there are some cases where they really did help people. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, but that was terrible.
But the first girl that he grabbed, though, her family didn't even look for her.
No, they didn't.
That's how.
She don't talk to them to this day for it.
Yeah, they abused her, and then they didn't even look for her when she went missing, and it just.
No, did you see when they interviewed Michelle Knight's mother? She had a goatee. She looked like Don Vito, Bam Margera's uncle, and she had like one sign in the window that said "Find Michelle." They didn't even look for her. And, Castro used that against the three girls. They would all watch TV together, and he would say, look, Gina's family loves her. Amanda's family loves her. Nobody loves you. And he brutalized Michelle Knight.
What a shame. What a horror.
He played psychological games with these girls' heads. That's why I don't blame some people giving Amanda Berry a hard time because she went along with everything. Huh?
Who knows what really went on behind closed doors? Only they know.
Of course. And these girls were being brutalized by some old man. So if she had to act like she would like him or whatever to survive, so be it. You can't judge the girl on that.
Yeah, and also just who knows what really went down? You know what I mean? Like God only knows what happened or
the horrors.
Yes.
And the mental abuse. 10 years in a place like that.
Yeah, and Amanda Berry had a kid with this guy.
Yeah,
and so she's not just thinking about herself; she's thinking about her daughter.
I made a comment while I was doing the stream. I says, "Well, at least Amanda got a child out of it." Someone in the chat's like, "What do you mean by that? That's kind of weird." I'm like, "Well, he was getting the other girl pregnant and killing her babies, and the baby probably gave Amanda hope to stay alive and all that too, Even though
it may have given all three of them hope,
It actually did help them because if it wasn't for that baby, he would have killed them. He got more laxed. He wouldn't beat them in front of the kid because he loved that little girl. It's sick, but he did.
And plus, even if they hadn't escaped that day when they did, they probably would have escaped, or the cops probably would have raided the house in time because people were saying that knew him, like his band, he was in a band, like the bandmates or other people were like, "Who's that girl?" Like, it was weird, and people were asking questions. So, in time,
the little girl,
somebody would have realized something. All right, something's off here because he was telling people it's my granddaughter, but
he told his own daughter that. Yeah. Yep, he told his daughter that, and eventually something would have got out. But here's the thing: maybe he would have thought that, and he would have maybe got rid of the other two girls or all three of them because the baby wouldn't know. If she's 4 years old, he could have killed them all and said, "Mommy and them are never coming home," and he could have maybe just lied and said it was a kid he found. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I think what he had told his kids was that, "Oh, this is my girlfriend's daughter."
Yes.
And other people, he told his neighbors, "No, this is my granddaughter," or whatever. And that the black guy, Charles Ramsey, who eventually saved. Oh, this is the crazy part too, because he's the one that. All right, so what he said was that when Amanda Berry first was getting loose and she got her hand out like through part of the door and she was waving her hand out like in the street, like help me. All she could get out was her hand through the door. That somebody else ignored her, like some of the neighbors that saw it, or one of them ignored it. And then it was Charles Ramsey who went and was like, "Wait, what?" And he went and he kicked the door in. And then other people, like the neighbor that ignored it, took credit for it after. Yeah, it was me.
Really? I didn't know that part. I thought she got out and ran and jumped to his arms. She just gut herself. She squeezed out of the door.
No, and Charles Ramsey said too that first he got out. He thought it was like a domestic abuse or something. He didn't know what was going on. And then he saw the baby and he was like, "Wait a second. This is my because he was friends with the guy. This is my friend's granddaughter. Is this a crazy lady trying to steal the baby?" Like, he didn't know what was going on.
Oh, those neighbors must have been puzzled. Think about it. Like, all of a sudden, like, your neighborhood is like the world's eyes are right on your street, and you got a guy who held 3 girls in there for 10 years, and he went and did candle vigils with Gina DeJesus's family, was praying for her.
Went to church on Sundays.
Yeah, it's really sick. Lady Boston Terrier. I don't see the Boston Terrier with the Chucky outfit on it.
And then this maniac, he committed suicide after he got sentenced or whatever. And, he deserved to, I'm sure if he didn't commit suicide, I'm sure the guards would have beat the crap out of him on a daily basis. They would have left him with the worst inmates and told him to do what they want. He would have, he would have had it bad and he would have deserved it. And he probably did get smacked around and abused by the guards. I'm sure he did, so he knew what was coming.
Yeah. How did he, I think he hung himself.
Yeah. With the bed sheets, he hung himself on the door handle in solitary confinement.
Yeah, he knew he was all done for that, and he was probably so embarrassed to like all the people he acted like such a good guy to, and his own kids too. It's like, wow, we went to school with them the last 10 years while I'm growing up with my life. They lost some crucial years of their life. Think about it: 15, 14 years old, and 16 when they were taken. 10 years. That's your whole high school proms. My heart just goes out to them.
I think it was the first girl was 20 when she got taken. Amanda Berry was the day before her 17th birthday, and the other one was 14.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. But for 10 years. Oof.
No, 11. The first one, 11.
Well,
11, yeah. Disturbing. And Michelle Knight was saying that like she didn't have clothes to wear. Like he wouldn't give her clothes, but then she looks over and the other one's got clothes and blankets.
Well,
and
that's what he did. He played mind games and pitted them against each other. And Amanda Berry did what she had, because I go on some of these pages a few years ago where we would debate and share facts about this case. Mm-hmm. And there were some people that criticized Amanda for that. And I was one of the people stuck up for. I was like, hey, wait a minute. You don't know when you're in that position. Like, this girl had to stay alive, like,
And again, we don't know all the details of what really happened, because there may be a lot more that they're not even saying, because who knows?
True. So. Well, picture the embarrassing. Listen, there was some like such degenerate stuff. I would never repeat it. That was done to these girls. I'm like talking like eating feces, like the most disgusting things he made Michelle Knight. The other ones he was way worse to Gina than he was to Amanda Berry. He treated Amanda the best because he thought of her as the white.
She was like the pretty blonde one, whatever.
Yeah, but Gina de Jesus was a cute young kid too. She was a pretty young girl. She was pretty kid. And what he did to these girls was just beyond evil, man.
The other one was only like 4'2", and she said that she even prior to this, she was getting bullied in school. Like people put her inside the lockers and stuff, threw her down the stairs because she was like 4'2".
She was tortured. She was 4'2", and I think she was a little like Shaqua, a little slow. The poor kid. So they abused. She was abused pretty bad and had a rough life before Ariel Castro. Like she had a rough upbringing.
She didn't get out of that until she was 31 years old.
And now she does a lot of paintings and sells her paintings and stuff.
And she rescues animals. That's what she does.
Yes, she's a big animal lover because he used to kill her puppies, man. Like he used to like let her keep it for a few months and then kill it on her. Sick.
Yeah. Thanks, Angela.
I just want to say that Chris, I told him about this, and he really didn't even really respond to me. And then about an hour later, I got about 7 text messages with all different interviews from people that were involved in this movie.
No, it's not true. What I sent you was the Charles Ramsey videos, like different interviews that he did, like years later.
About 7 of them.
Not 7. It was like maybe 2 or 3 most.
Oh my God!
You talking about John Benet? John Benet?
No, Charles Ramsey, the black guy who kicked the door in.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of John Benet.
Because that guy got a book deal out of it. He had a radio show for a little bit in Cleveland. I had no idea. He was like a motivational speaker. I didn't know all these things happened.
Yeah, he was the dude with the Don King haircut. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. He said because he had been to prison and stuff, and he was a dishwasher. He hadn't, but he was a character. And I guess when they put the camera on him, and he was a hero, and like Snoop Dogg brought him on tour with him and everything.
Really?
Yeah, he was always.
Yeah, he was a character, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he did deserve to get rewarded because apparently, and Amanda Berry backed up his story that the neighbor who took credit for saving her, and she's like, no, it wasn't them, it was him. So
yeah, like what a dirtbag trying to take credit for something like that. Why would you even think of yourself at that point? Like, who would do that? What a creep! Oh, I saved her. It's like no.
And it's funny if you find the video of Snoop, because I don't know if he still has it, but he had a radio show for a while, like a podcast on YouTube, like a live stream, and he called because I guess he got Charles Ramsey's phone number off the 911 call when it was public or whatever. So he's like, I'm going to call this guy, and he calls Charles Ramsey, but he doesn't pick up. Like his brother or somebody else picks up. Yeah, this is Charles's manager, and he's like, this is Snoop. I want to talk to I want to talk to Charles Ramsey. Like, all right, just because it's you, I'll give you a couple of seconds. He gets on the phone. He's like, yo, what up, man? He's like, yo, what up, Snoop? He's like, I'll tell you what's up. Come to Cleveland because that Dominican dude in my block who's taking credit for, I'm about to whoop his ass, and I want you to watch. Like,
oh man.
All right, Angel, answer Dominic's question.
One is 15, gonna be one. She's 14. She'll be 15, and then I have her daughter, who is about, I think, 13, and then my daughter's 2 dogs. One is 7, one is 2 or 3, and then I have the King Corso, who is going to be 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the serial killers.
That's a
No.
You know,
King
that's
Corso. I didn't know that.
to listen for a King Corso to live 10 years. That's good for a King Corso.
Yeah,
They
he'll
could
be
carry
10.
your animals.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, a lot of people. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I said a lot of people don't realize these big dogs can live a long time, but the only times they don't live long is when you really don't keep their vets and take them to vets all the time. There's some people who take their dogs and get like one rabies shot and never get it again. They don't take these dogs to the vets. So if you take one of these big dogs to the vets and you take good care of them, you can get 10, 11, sometimes even 12 years out of them.
Yeah, but a lot of times it doesn't matter because they don't have a long lifespan. The
No.
big dogs, they don't.
No, the bigger their organs are and the stuff, you're more susceptible to cancer and all that stuff.
Yeah, cancer.
Yeah, it's
I remember I had a pit bull, and he was a beautiful dog. Rocky, his name was, and he had head and neck cancer at the same time that my father had it.
Really?
Yeah, they had it at the same time, and I took this dog to the vets in Long Island. Nobody, they all said the same thing. There was no help for him. I even took this vet to a specialist in Manhattan, and they said the same thing. I could do what I had to do, but he would not be like a normal dog again. And to me, if your dog once a dog can't be a dog anymore, there's no use in prolonging.
Yeah, they're just gonna have they're just gonna suffer and stuff.
Yeah, and he died not long after that, and that he was only like 4 years old.
Yeah, I know some big ones that went early, and it's sad. I had a 3.5-year-old. American Bulldogs are great. 11 years old, you got out of them? Good, JTP. I had a dog for about 3.5 years one time, a pure breed, and sadly he got this stomach cancer and he was gone within like a week. It broke my heart.
Yeah, me too. I had the dog, and the vet told me that that a lot of dogs were dying, like they were getting cancer. I mean, a lot of dogs are getting cancer. And then they were saying, and then I looked it up, and they were saying it was the water on Long Island. Yeah, the water. So I have never given my dogs, or even the cat outside, I've never given them water from the faucet ever.
No,
again.
I go through a lot of money with Poland Springs to make sure that they do not drink water from the faucet.
Yeah.
And it's just like, especially if you got some stuff going like that in your city where all these dogs are dying, you got to get them something else.
Yeah, I won't give them tap water ever.
Tap water used to be good when I was a kid. We used to drink right from the spring and the wells. It reminded me of what's that, Nellie Olson, Little House on the Prairie. It was almost like Little House on the Prairie.
I was in the hospital once in the 5th grade for a week, or right before the 5th grade. I don't know, somewhere around that age, for a week because I got water poisoning. Georgia. Really? I got a parasite from dirty water, and I just never drank tap water again. That was it.
Yeah, see, like I was saying, as kids, the water wasn't bad like it is now. Like I remember drinking the water was like tastes great.
Yeah.
We
Like,
No,
all
I think I got it out like in Montana or Wyoming. 'Cause I went camping in Yellowstone out there
oh,
for a couple of
really?
weeks, and I think that's where I picked it up. And then when I got back, I was like really sick.
Joey Knuckles says, I had a Dalmatian when I was a kid and they was dumb as bricks. Yeah, Dalmatians are really good dogs, but they're very high strung and active, and they're kind of hard to train. With good dogs, but yes, they're very high strung. I wouldn't call them dumb, but some if you get these owners that don't train them and stuff, yeah, a lot of them have problems like that.
You know what? If you go on my YouTube, the homepage, that's all I have is either, you know, the few accounts that I follow, and then the rest are either cooking, cooking channel recipe things, or about the dog. In fact, yesterday I watched one with the man Caesar Milan, I think his name.
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah,
My
Yeah.
cousin.
What?
It's my cousin.
No, it's not.
that's my cousin too. Wow, we must be related. Dude. Wow, are you shitting me? This is a small world. Now, are you related to Aunt Nancy? Do you know Aunt Nancy on cousin Joyce's side? This is something, man. I knew we got along for some reason.
It's such a small world.
If I go around telling everybody you're my cousin right now, you better back me on that. I'm joking. I don't know Caesar. Caesar Milan's not my cousin. He's my aunt's neighbor's cousin.
Hold on. Angel, I was just about to click Justice Tech Pro's comment. My hobby is studying dog breeds. I have hundreds of books. Fascinating when you read about their development. I got a story for you, JTP.
Oh, here we go.
A short story long. A friend of mine that I grew up with, his dad was actually in jail with Angel's uncle in Louisiana for a while, but his father passed away a few years ago. He went away in 95. He got picked up and he got a life sentence for, a homicide
You
that he
don't have
didn't
to
do.
tell every detail.
But one of the things that he told me, because I spoke to him, and one of the cooperators in his case, they didn't pick up on it at the time, but it was a very close family friend. And every time he came in their house, the dog would bark at him. And then he ended up ratting him out later on and helping to frame him.
Wow, the dogs can sense things. They can sense things about people. They have the scent. They're very smart. I can tell when my dog barks, just like you guys as dog people. I can tell what kind of bark it is. I can tell if somebody's in my yard or if it's just him barking. You can tell distinctive barks in your dog, and dog people know what I'm saying. All right, that's his bark. Where somebody's here, he thinks there's trouble. That's him barking to come in, or things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell in the tone of their bark. You get used to it over the years, and it's very important, especially Angel, with your husband that passed away. You're a mom, a single mom, grandmom. You need a dog where you are. I tell all women, make sure you have dogs wherever you live. A big dog like that keeps intruders away and people who break in houses. So as soon as they know there's a big dog breed there, German Shepherds, Cane Corsos, Rottweilers, no matter what it be, Danes, anything, they want nothing to do with that.
No, yeah, I know. But Lewis was my ex-husband.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Lewis was my ex-husband.
But I'm saying
we were really close.
Okay, because my point is I have a few family members that lost their husbands and stuff, and they live alone, and they also have a couple of dogs too, and they feel a lot safer. And dogs are very important.
Yeah. I had a dog that he died as well. And my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law Carmine, his friend, who I know forever, and he went to kiss me hello, and my dog bit him.
Wow.
And he was a big dog. What
kind was he?
I found him. He was a rescue. Champ. I don't know what he is. He was he was all black and he looked like a German Shepherd, but he was mixed with something. Yeah. And he was all black. He was like a mix between a lab and a Shepherd. I don't know what he was, but I had him for 6 years. 7 years, and then he died. My son will never get another dog because of that dog.
Really?
My son was so attached to him, and
it's tough. There's that pain when you lose a dog like that. It's tough.
And my son was so attached to him, and he died, and he'll never get another dog again. Like, he just doesn't want another dog.
Yeah,
But
they don't want to deal with the pain that that they lost.
But you know what happened? So I found him, and I what happened is we found him. I already had dogs. He was a big dog. I was nervous. So my sister-in-law had said to me, could you just take him until tomorrow? She found him. And meanwhile, tomorrow never came. So, yeah. So
I know that. I've lost a dog, so I know how it is with them.
Yeah, tomorrow. I told you, everybody gets me. They all get me.
Well, they know we're softies for animals, and we love them. And we're
Exactly. But anyway, he truly was a gift from God. That dog was a gift from God, because the way that she found him, and and she also had babies in the car when she stopped her car and put him in the car. And he was, he was scary looking. He's a big dog, but she got out of the car to just go, and he went up to her and he was like licking her. She put him in the car. She said, Angel, please, can you hold him just till tomorrow? I swear to God, I promise tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. But I ended up keeping him. And when he was sick, because he started to not be able to walk anymore. So do you know that they did an x-ray and they found 3 BB bullets in him?
Really?
I was devastated. Do you know I broke down and started crying inside the vet?
What animal would do that?
Exactly. Just the thought that wherever he was before me, somebody shot him and 3 BBs were still inside him.
Sadly, when that's done, it's usually little kids who don't know what they're doing or got some sort of problems. It's usually something like that, but it's sick.
I remember when I was a kid, my dog, he ate like all my crayons. I had like a box of crayons, and he ate them. And then when he pooped it out, it was like multicolored poop. It was like purple and green and all kinds of crazy things, but
they'll eat anything, dogs.
Yeah. We would have
your dog had rainbow poop.
Yeah, we would have like
compare that to my dog's 3 BBs bullets in them.
We would have like 24 packs of like Poland Spring, but the kind with the sport bottle, right, where it squirts. And the dog, I remember like I don't remember, we weren't home. We came back and he ripped open all the packages because I think there were like 3 packages of 24 packs just stacked. And he went through all of them and was stomping on them. And then so the cap would go flying off. The caps were off all the bottles. But
was the whole house wrecked with like crayon stuff too?
No, it was in my room. It was just like,
did he wreck
the
room?
carpet was like multicolored now. So
oh man.
Yeah, good.
I've never heard of anybody's dog having rainbow poop.
Well, you can feed a dog a box of rainbow crayons. So
I heard of A-liars having that though. That's right there.
I remember when I accompanied the process server and I videotaped it when a lawsuit was delivered on A-Light's residence in, I believe it was November 2016, and the process server is like knocking on the door and nobody's answering, and he tapes the lawsuit to the front door, and I just remember the dog was going crazy. He had like a little dog, like a little 5-pound dog. And it was going crazy, and I remember just thinking, I feel bad for that dog living with this monster. So, no, I'm serious. I feel bad for the dog.
No, I'm laughing at just this
unicorns too.
I'm glad Chris didn't want to come on tonight.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this valuable American. I thought Chris was only doing half a show. Time for the vaudeville hook. Thank you.
The Charlie Chaplin used to do that a lot. With the cane.
It almost sounds like a wrestling move. I'm gonna put him in the vaudeville hook.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like the Iron Sheik would put that on somebody.
I remember when we were teenagers. One of my friends, he was like the leader of all the kids in Bay Terrace, but he was like a really, really, really tough kid.
Was his name Dally Winston?
No, but he developed his own wrestling move. isn't he? His name was Matt, and he called it the Matlock or whatever. And he would get into fights with people, put them in his like custom wrestling move, and make them submit.
The Matlocks.
Yeah.
Damien says, I remember going over my grandmother's house for dinner, and the dogs would be served veal and peas and steak, pizzioli. I got excited, and she made me hot dogs. She was very excited.
That's something that I would do.
Well, I'm sure his grandmother, whoever she is, must have been a rabid animal lover. Like, you know what I mean? Like most animal lover people, someone who would do that is a rabid animal fanatic. And I consider myself an animal fanatic. Like I even since I was a little kid, dogs. I was just a dog fanatic my whole life.
Too. I'm just
I had
an
dogs my whole
animal
life.
fanatic. I'm an animal. I don't care what kind of animal it is. It went before I moved. I had see right now I have caged in. I wonder if I could put the picture up. I have a cage. You know, the two cages put together for the feral cat outside. But
you're saving that cat, Teddy. You're saving its life, actually.
I know. Listen, I wrestled with that for such a long time. I didn't know. I thought I was doing the wrong thing, you know, but then I realized when I moved, who was going to feed these cats? No one was going to feed them. Nobody was going to take care of them the way that I did. And I felt really bad about taking them and locking them up in a cage, you know, but they're two big cages.
They're huge cages, though.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah.
It's different. And not only that, if you let them go where you are now.
How do I share a picture?
You would hit share, and you would have to have the picture inside of your thing, and you can select a file from your computer.
All right, let me see if I can do that.
But you do. I don't know if you live near any like main drives or nothing like that.
Yes, I do. I do.
Well, if you let that cat go, most likely the cats probably would get hurt or something like that, or who would feed them. You know, there's feral cats in Australia that run in bands of hundreds in Australia.
Really?
Yes. And they're very dangerous. They kill people and everything by scratching them because they've never had shots. Who knows what's under their nails? You can keep. I knew a guy who died of cat scratch fever. God rest his soul. For a good man. He died of cat scratch fever because he got scratched by a cat. He waited. He was a stubborn guy. He didn't want to go to the hospital, and it was too late. It was so sad.
I'm trying to find it. I don't know if I put it.
Killer Kangaroos, Gianni Russo. But I always like to. I know what I love too, and I've actually did some activism for is elephants. I picketed the South Dakota Zoo circus. I picketed them one year with pickets, me and a bunch of other wackadoos. Because listen, what they're doing to these elephants is torturing them. They break them as babies, torture them. They put them in these little cots. An elephant is used to covering over like hundreds of miles.
They take the ivory, the
tusk, yes, the tusk, the ivory, yes, and sell it. But not only that, they abuse them. Their whole life is torture. When you see elephants in a zoo, ever see them bobbing their head? That's not normal. That's a sign of psychotic problems. And elephants got such a big brain. They're so smart. By keeping them locked up like that, they go nuts.
I don't support zoos anymore. I don't like seeing animals. I mean, I know some are better than others where, you know, they rescue them or they're endangered species. And, you know, that's okay. That's a little different. But overall.
You mean sanctuaries. Yeah. Sanctuaries are good.
Yeah, but sanctuary is one thing. If it's like a sanctuary, something like that. Mm-hmm. Other than that, like, I don't support any of that stuff anymore because it's imagine just being caged up in like a little backyard your whole life. I don't like it.
MRE Justice Tech Pros is asking you a question.
Well, he had multiple wives. So.
Well, you know what? My wife was in on it. Her wages were cut. She worked very hard. She was a clown. I'm not embarrassed about that for 1 minute at all. All right. I'm very proud of it. She was a clown. It was a profession and an art form that her and her family mastered for years. She was there from day one, bombing Bailey's. But besides the point, she wanted some extra pay. We picked the elephants because she loved an elephant. She did not like what's going on. So there was an inside coup d'etat that was going to take place. She was orchestrating a coup at the circus, at the guy owns Bob Bailey, a frigging coup. And it almost, I can't even go into detail because I'm sworn to secrecy in the clown world. Seriously, we have a code that we stick to. Like, I can't tell you clown tricks and magic tricks because I would be breaking the rules. So we're going to have a coup d'etat and take things over. And she was going to rise. We're going to call her Cleopatra. And I was going to be Mark Antony. And we were going to free the elephants, and we were going to live on their backs and ride through Montana together and migrate to Montana. I'm actually serious, but everybody wants to laugh at me.
Oh, my God.
My life's been a whole joke.
Last thing you need, wait, what? Hold on. Last thing you needed was getting curbed.
No, she was in on it. But Sissy's very slick. Sissy read Machiavelli. She read Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Sissy is even though she left me for Charlie Sheen's Gardener, we still have this bond that even though she don't talk to me or nothing, I know she must think of me every night. I've sent over 25 letters, called her a million times. The cops told me not to do that no more. I said, you don't understand. I know her feelings. I know her heart. She helped me juggle. She taught me how to juggle as a kid because we knew each other as children. Yes, plot twist. Here's what happened. Okay. My grandmother, I told you this before. You think I'm lying. My grandmother invented whiteout, right? With Mike Nesmith's mother from the Monkees. Mike Nesmith from the Monkees. So my aunt also invested in a circus. And she invested in this circus, and she put me in there because I have the look. I have the look of the carny. I have the look of the circus guy. So she put me in there. Hopefully I would excel as a clown. And that's where I met.
That with a baby arm.
You don't understand. Having a baby arm is a plus in the clown world. It's a plus. I have a jump on everybody else. That's why they were jealous of me. They were so jealous of me and envious of my juggling skills. Yes, with one arm juggling. Unicycle, I mastered the unicycle in a week. Mastered the unicycle and juggling. I could also blow fireballs out of my ears. And I'm not joking. It sounds crazy. Yes, I know. But they were jealous of me. My potential there was no bounds to my potential and my ambition. And so that's when I stepped out of my realm for a while and I started picking in the elephants for the elephant trainers. See, I tried to tell a normal story and I mixed it up with my craziness, and now I'm conflicted on which story should I tell? Should I go on about the elephants, how I picketed them, how they abused them? Or should I keep running with my sissy fantasies because she won't talk to me?
Sissy fantasies, because JTP wants to know if you get PTSD when he sees the red clown nose.
Let's go with Sissy Fantasies for 200. That is, when I see red noses, I just want to honk them. I don't hold no ill will. I have no animosity towards them because I know this. At the end of the day, even though Sissy is living with Javier in that house and they have children now and they forgot about me, and she forgot about me, she still loves me more than him. She still loves me more than him. I know it. I'm going to send a raven to her next week because I can't call her. I can't write her. This order. They came to my house. Listen to this, Angel. Never believe this. They came to my house, the state troopers, right in South Dakota. And they actually, I can't, I'm going to go to jail if I try to reach her again with telephone, letters, paying people to go to her house. So now I'm going to use ravens. I've watched Game of Thrones. Right? I'm a Game of Thrones fan. I understand if I buy a raven, I worked at the circus. I've seen ravens before, train them, and he could possibly deliver this message to my ex-wife.
What would the message be?
I'm not sure right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to go into. It might be a beautiful poem by Shakespeare. It might just be say, I'm going to kill myself if you don't come back to me right now. I might say, marry me again. I'm not sure what I'm going to say. I'm such a pathetic human being that I can't even be decisive in what I'm going to say to the woman that I love, Sissy, the clown. And you can hear my dogs eating rawhide bones and ram horns. They love them.
But she has children.
Yes, I know, but I'll take care of them. I'll take care of everybody. I'll take care of everyone. As long as Sissy comes back. No, I'm not a cuckold, folks. But there are people like that, though. It's like, my wife left me, insulted me, cheated on me 7 times, but you know what? She said sorry, and I love her so much. It's like, dude, she's going to abuse you some more. Don't cry after you get abused. It's so bizarre.
Oh, my God. And yes, I did see it. In fact, I tried to put the picture on the thumbnail on this, but I didn't know I guess I don't know what I'm doing. It kept saying it was too big to share on here.
Hi, Angela. Angela's always in the chats. How you doing?
Yes, that's my friend.
Hey, John O'Master, MJ, South Dakota, Little Italy, Queens guy. I'm not from Queens, South Dakota, Little Italy.
JTP wants to know, does he use Sissy's old stilts in order to relive the old days?
Well, here's the problem with that, okay? I'm in some court trouble right now because I sold the stilts on eBay because they were signed by Sissy. They were signed by her. I sold them on eBay, and now they want their money for the stilts. These are stilts that will probably go for $1,000. Okay, I sold it on eBay for $250, okay. They could probably go for $1,000 though, but I sold them.
And so you're in trouble.
No, I'm not in trouble. She'll forgive me. She'll love me again. Can't take signs it.
Yeah. MRE avoids cotton candy to this day.
Are you saying I have a weight problem? Okay.
No. Are they signed or unsigned?
Oh, the stilts were signed. They were
signed.
Yes, her John Hancock was on the stilts 100%. If people don't know who John Hancock was, founding father, head of the Constitutional Congress. He presided over it as a president. Not real president, but he was the president of the Continental Congress. And a signer of the Declaration of Independence and had the coolest signature, so that's why they say put your John. I don't want anyone to think I'm being dirty or nothing.
I would too, Damien. I definitely would.
No, you would. It'd be the most boring documentary of some man who was just tied up and left in the corner and laughed at his whole life and never really did nothing or amounted to nothing.
You know, there's a part of me that never wants to know what you look like or what your name is.
You don't want to know what I look like. It's terrifying.
Because, it would take everything away, the fun of all of this, of not knowing who you are. Don't even ask him about the salted peanuts catastrophe.
The salted peanuts catastrophe was, wow. It was 1994, one of the biggest things that happened in 95.
What was it?
The peanut catastrophe?
Yeah.
Oh, it was this great party that was supposed to go off and, nobody came and I was the only one sitting there. And it was all because of the peanuts. You got the wrong kind of peanuts. It was supposed to be roasted peanuts. And they weren't roasted. Everybody left. I looked like a fool, of course. That's just
my God.
For theft of stilts. I didn't steal no stilts, John. They were left to me by my ex-wife. Thank you very much. Love that pit bull, though. Love the pit bull. But I didn't steal no stilts, man. It's in civil court, number one, not criminal court. So it's in civil court. I have nothing to sue me for. I live with my grandmother and my aunt. I have nothing to my name. I have a bicycle, a Trek bicycle. Like, what do you want, a Trek bicycle? What are they going to sue me for?
What
Nothing.
channel, Anthony? My mother is not Jewish. Oh my God. What channel? I'm just curious. It doesn't matter. You see, you could tell people 100 times.
I've heard that before too.
My mother is not Jewish. In fact, if you go on johnnyLifeFacts.com, Chris put up my mom's communion picture. My mother is not Jewish.
Yeah, and don't you? If she was, why would she? She would just say she
why would
was.
we not say that? Like, why would we not say that we were a quarter Jewish? Why wouldn't we say that? I mean, it's so ridiculous.
I think they use that. Was your mom in an like a little kid as an orphanage or something like that?
My mom was in a boarding school. That's what my mom was.
Oh, all right. So people make anything up from that.
Yeah.
Like that.
I just saw a comment and I wanted to.
Admired. Bozo.
I mean, it's so ridiculous already. I don't know why they do that.
I just do it to get under people's skin and stuff.
Okay, Mob Rats Exposed. Would you say Sissy admired Pagliacci or Bozo?
Bozo. 100%. She has a Bozo tattoo on her. Well, she's a Bozo loyalist. She's been loyal to the Bozo crowd for years. See, circus is a split. Some circuses are loyal to certain clowns, and other circuses are loyal to certain clowns, other clowns. And there's a loyalty to them clowns, and that's just how it goes.
Did you watch Bozo when you were younger?
Yes, Bozo was like a hero of mine.
Yes, I loved Bozo.
Yeah, I loved him.
Was she a Bozette?
Bozette. I think that's a sexist term right there. And Sissy would not be approval of that. She was a bozo, man.
Oh my God.
No, I'm only kidding. She was a Bozette.
Can you tell us anything about your parents?
Yes. If you ever seen the movie The Goonies, have you ever seen The Goonies? Yeah, I'm a mixture between Mama Fratelli and the mutant guy, whatever his name. What was his name? Sloth? So if you think of Mommy Fratelli and Sloth running into each other and molding into one person, there you have me.
What?
Yes, if they molded into the same person. Mama Fratelli from the show, The Goonies. Throw Mama from the Train, that woman. And Sloth from The Goonies. Let's say if they had a kid, that's what I would look like. That's what I look like. For my appearance. And I wear bow ties. My grandmother dresses me like Beaver Cleaver style.
Oh my God, I can't.
Well, you got to think, you growing up the way I was, and going off, being put into the circus and stuff like that, and coming out and like shading off the clown, getting off the clownisms, like getting the clown out of me. She tried to mold me into some sort of like Beaver Cleaver type of kid, and I always rebelled. I just rebelled against it.
You rebelled how?
I went fishing. I collected newts. I did a lot. I like collecting stamps also. So I just rebelled. That's what a young man does when you take his passion away from him.
So your passion was to be a clown?
Yeah. Yes. It was that. Jesus Christ. I don't know why he's going to do this to me. Every time I come on. No, I'm only kidding. I'm okay. I'm gonna fight through it.
Do you listen to Insane Clown Posse?
No, they scare me. They scare the hell out of me. How you doing, Vinny B? They terrify me. They give me night terrors, man. And I have to sleep in Grammy's room on the floor, of course. But she puts a little rug down for me, and I just lay there with my blanket like Linus and cry. So I don't watch them. I like Pee Wee Herman though. That was good.
Okay, good.
I like Pee Wee Herman.
Do you have Muslim roots?
Who?
That,
No. I don't have Muslim roots. No. That's a few other people, I guess. But I got none against Muslims.
No.
But I don't have Muslim roots.
Damien said he actually toured with Insane Clown Posse for many years. What is the Insane Clown Posse?
Let's stop right there because this is scaring the shit out of me. No, I'm only kidding. No, I know who they are, but I was never really into them and stuff. And like I said, just the sight of them scares me. So, but that's cool that you toured with them. That's excellent.
Did she try to beat the clown out of you?
Physically, my aunt would do the physical stuff. Grammy would do the mental. It was mental and physical. And they did help me get through that stage of my life. I got through it. Like I said, I collected stamps. I rebelled. And I got through it. And now I'm okay.
No, go ahead.
I said, and now I'm okay.
Do you still wear the cape?
The cape only when I'm sledding. Only when I'm sledding. When I am sledding, I feel like, I'm on Mount Olympus. And that's when I become Fast and the Furious, but with sledding. It's kind of like a LARPing thing.
It's a what?
LARPing? Live action role play, where you actually become like the Fast and the Furious guys, but it's with sled and slash snowball fights, like the Christmas Story. I don't know if you've ever seen that. You, of course, everybody's seen the Christmas Story. Yeah. So I incorporate both the Fast and the Furious and the Christmas Story, and we LARP. Ralphie versus the guys sledding versus the cars, but the cars are not cars. They're really sleds. So that's the best I can do to explain that without actually breaking any laws, because we go pretty fast.
Excuse me. How did you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Well, I wouldn't call much of a celebration. A few kick in the ribs and a couple of bones sent my way. But my family had a wonderful time, and I was able to watch from the window. It was freezing outside. And I was watching in the window crying, just looking at them eat and having a good time. And I was just holding my ribs because they hurt, but they were gracious enough to give me the neck of the turkey. So I just chewed the neck outside and looked inside at everybody, sort of like trading places with Dan Aykroyd when he's looking at eating the chicken and very depressed outside. But they gave me some happy pills and I'm okay.
Oh my God. Chris, are you laughing or are you sneezing?
I'm reading.
You shouldn't be laughing anyway.
Oh my God! What a shocker! Chris is actually not.
How many books do you read? A lot of books in a day. Like, how many books do you devour in like a week?
Somewhere between 11 and 25.
Wow, that's good. Have you ever read any of the Game of Thrones books by any chance?
No, I read like probably the first page of the first one.
So you're not.
That was it.
Oh, all right. What are you mostly into? Like biographies? Like what?
I like reading. I've read all the biographies of the first, the original members of the Insane Clown Posse, all 27 of them, and then
27.
It's a joke. No.
Because I do love reading, and I like some biographies. I like some adventure. I'm not into fantasy world stuff, but I did like Game of Thrones, and I got hooked on the Game of Thrones. And I've read all the books. I can't wait for the other book to come out, but it's been like forever, like 5 years now, and it's killing me. The show butchered. Oh my God! When the show ran out of book material, it fell apart. After season 4 is when they ran out of book material. And
the author, I forget his name, but the author, I read an interview. I read an interview with him once where he said that, or it may have been the showrunner from the show. One of them said that there were a lot of people who wanted to option those books and try to make a movie or a show out of them, whatever, over the years. But he would never sign off on it. And he only signed off on these guys from the HBO show because they had actually read all the books.
Well, they lied to him. They didn't really read the books. They lied to him because they butchered his series in the last 4 I think it was 7 or 8 seasons it went. But like I said, once they ran out of book material, It was terrible because they wanted to end the series fast enough so they could start the Star Wars series. Dan and Dave, they took so much heat at Comic-Con and all over the internet for butchering the series. It made no sense. They destroyed all the characters' story arcs. It was brutal what they did to it. But they did a good job. Don't get me wrong, adapting the book to the TV for the first 4 seasons.
I wouldn't know. I don't know enough about it, but I'll tell you a story of a good book that got butchered. Did you see the movie Live by Night, the Ben Affleck movie, where he's like a bootlegger from Boston in the 20s or the 30s?
No.
Okay, well, you probably didn't hear about it because the movie really wasn't that good. And Ben Affleck's a good director. Yeah, Ben Affleck's a good director. Like The Town, like he made like some really good stuff, right? He's talented. But that movie Live by Night, it's about like, you know, a kid in Boston in, I don't know, the 1920s, 1910s, something like that. And he gets hooked up with the early form of the Boston mob, and they're running liquor and everything down to Tampa and deals with Cuba and stuff, I think, or definitely down to Tampa. And somewhere, long story short story long, the movie sucked. But I had read the book beforehand. The book was written by a guy named Dennis Lehane, who's, you know, he's had masterworks made out of his books. He was one of the writers on The Wire also. He's a book author primarily. Phenomenal author, one of the best crime writers out there. And the book was fantastic. It was a great crime novel, but they just cut out like huge sections of it. There's like in the book, there's like a whole 100 pages of his character in prison, in Charlestown prison or whatever. And they just left that out of the movie. And like, dude, that's like how he becomes who he is. It's like the formative period of his life. And they just, you know.
Yeah, they can do that with a lot of good.
Like the town was a book. It was called Prince of Thieves, I think.
Yeah, The Town. Yeah. That was good. I like that one. Movie, though. Yes, I like that one.
And then the movie the other movie Affleck made, Gone Baby Gone, that was also a Dennis Lehane book.
That was okay. I like that one.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I like that movie. And
I didn't like how the end, though, was just like, wait a minute. Like, so they faked the thing the whole time. But at least they gave the kid out. My mind was blown at the end because I didn't know what happened to this kid. But the whole time it was secretly held by the cop, I think, right?
Yeah, because the cop, I guess they didn't have a kid and they wanted to give the kid a better life and adopt the kid. And
but it had to be all done like all in like sneak and shit. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember the movie. It was good. It wasn't Affleck's brother played in it.
Yeah, Casey Affleck played the main character, and that rapper Slane was in it. Shutter Island was one of this guy Dennis Lehane's books that Scorsese turned into a movie. The Drop with James Gandolfini, that was one of his books. There's
I never seen The Drop. I never seen that one.
That was all right.
Well, John Wales was a book too. It was called Going to Texas.
I don't know. Whose book was that?
Outlaw Josie Wales with Clint Eastwood. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. It's a Western.
Years ago I saw it.
Yeah, it was adopted by a book, Going to Texas. It was real good. Excellent. What other one was going to ask?
Get Shorty was an Elmore Leonard novel. The Jackie Brown, the Quentin Tarantino movie, was an Elmore Leonard novel. A whole bunch of his books got made into movies. Mr. Majestic, starring Charles Bronson. I don't remember back in the 70s. That was one of his books. He had a whole bunch of his books turned to. He wrote 40, 50 books. That guy.
The Wire was really good, though. That stemmed from a book, you said?
No, The Wire. It was. They say what made The Wire so special. One of the strong reasons why was that the writers on that show, they were all crime novelists. Yeah. They weren't screenwriters, they were all novelists, and that's why that show unfolds like a novel, basically.
Well, didn't they live in Baltimore and like work there too? Some of the makers of the show.
Yeah, the original guy who pitched it was what was his name? I don't remember his name, but I think he had partnered with a former cop who started writing true crime books about his time in Baltimore. I forget
What was your favorite season? Believe it or not, one of my favorite seasons, the ones everybody hate, was season 2. I loved how they did season 2.
Yeah, those guys were like Whitey Bulger. They were informants.
Yes, it was excellent how they did season 2. The Wire, every season was really good. That was a well-written movie.
And that was a show where it wasn't getting good rating. Nobody was watching. Nobody even knew about it.
I know.
HBO believed in the show, so they just kept financing, even though it wasn't making money. They were like, no, let's just keep making this.
It's a phenomenon now. Yeah. People
became a cult classic.
Yeah, that was on how many seasons? 6 seasons? 5. Well, all those characters were very like
perfect casting. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he was when he first started. If you remember the first scene in The Wire, he can't say the name Snotty. He's like Snotty, Snotty. He can't say it because he's an English actor. That dude,
I don't know.
You know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's like something snot. So snot robbed the stash again, and he couldn't do it. Like if you watch that first, you can catch him like not talking right, and then he masters it after that. It was good.
You know what movie I loved? Legends of the Fall.
Really? Yeah. All right. That's a good one. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you saw that one? That was a great movie. I loved it.
Excuse me. Have you ever seen the Albanian Terminator movie? Have you ever? Well, 25 Hitmen. Maybe Georgie Grosso, Johnny Gavitt, they're storming my yard. They're one of my babies. I had to do it.
Did you ever see Heat?
Yeah, Heat was great, dude.
They have a book coming out that Michael Mann, the writer director of the movie, he's writing it, and it's going to be like a prequel and a sequel at the same time. But it's like the backstory of all the characters and what happens after the movie. Yeah, it's supposed to come out in 2022. Like I know he's been working on that for a while, and Michael Mann said that he wants to do a prequel movie about all those characters before they became who they were. You know, with like Neil McCauley in prison and Al Pacino's character when he was a cop in Chicago. And
I liked McCauley. He was good, but his own rule broke him at the end. He got caught. You know,
fell in love. That's what happened.
Yeah, but that was a great movie, man. I liked when Pacino goes, "Give me all you got," when he yells at the dude.
Watch your background.
Give me all you got. Oh,
you can get killed walking your doggy.
Yeah, you want to kill walking your doggy. Pacino's a character in that movie. That's why in the movie The Irishman, I was so disgusted because these guys, De Niro and Pacino, were terrible in my opinion. They were terrible, and they're such good actors.
Okay, so here's another book story.
Boris, that's a good one.
The movie that De Niro was originally going to make with Scorsese is based on a book called The Winter of Frankie Machine by a writer named Don Winslow. He's one of the preeminent crime novelists in the country. And that book is, I guess it came out about 2005, 2006, maybe 04, but somewhere in there. And it's a book about a hitman from the Los Angeles mob, like a Vietnam vet who got hooked up with the mob in San Diego or something after Vietnam. And he was a sniper in Vietnam, and they called him Frankie Machine. And long story short, the book is it's now in the early 2000s, and the LA mob, there is no LA mob, it's just a bunch of clowns in LA. And he got away from it years ago because he was a real dude, but he recognized that I'm surrounded by clowns.
Wow.
And somebody tries to kill him, like some wise guys from LA and Detroit. They get together and they try to kill him, and he doesn't know why. They fail. He kills them, but he doesn't know why. So he's like thinking back in his life, why would these guys want to kill me? And he's going over all these murders that he did over the years for mafia families across the country, or whatever, because he was just a notorious hitman. And it's a really good book. And when I read it, because they had already announced the movie, when I read it, in the early 2000s, and you could picture De Niro in that role with Scorsese directing, it would have been perfect. And then at one point, Michael Mann was going to direct it, and that would have been perfect too. But,
that would have been good.
And that, or it may have been the other way around, that Mann was going to do it before De Niro. I don't remember. But then, no, I'm sorry. Scorsese and De Niro were going to do it, but then they stopped. They put it on the side because somebody had read the Frank Sheeran book, I Heard You Paint Houses. And he gave it to them, dude, you have to read this. And they were like, all right, let's not do Frankie Machine. Let's do this one. And they dropped it. And it was like they had the budget in place. It was a go movie. It was like it was going to get made. They had the financing there. They were right about to start filming. And they said, no, let's do this mob movie instead. And The Irishman, I thought Joe Pesci was amazing in that movie as Russell Bufalino. But other than that, I really didn't. I didn't like the movie.
I think Pesci did a good job.
I didn't think it was great. With all the money they spent on it, they could have made 10 movies for like $150 million, whatever crazy budget that movie had. They could have. It was slow. It was too long, and it was fictional. It wasn't the guy Frank Sheeran. He lied in his book, and the guy who wrote the book was a former prosecutor, who took his story, and they basically put out a fraud. And that was the same guy. The guy who wrote that book was the same guy who wrote the book about Lindley DeVecchio, the FBI agent who was handling Greg Scarpa and basically enabled him to commit all kinds of murders or whatever. But
Out for Justice was good. Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?
Out for Justice is fucking brilliant. It's an awesome movie.
Yeah, 100%. That was great. It's underrated though.
No, it's a cult classic, is what I think it is.
Who is in it? I don't
Steven
even know.
Seagal. And was
Oh,
that his first movie? Was that Alpha Justice's first movie?
No, that movie didn't come out to like 89, 1990. I don't know what his first.
Oh, his
movie
first
was.
big hit one. I'm not sure,
I'm not
but
sure.
yeah, that was great. Why Richie do Bobby Lupo? He starts screaming that, getting out of the car. The guy Richie was a maniac in that movie, just like going places, wrecking stuff like a nut.
A crazy crackhead mobster.
Yeah, he was on like cocaine constantly, and he had a little crew of degenerate weirdos that were doing all this stuff with him.
He's like, "You got the balls, now you got the bread."
Yeah. Who was that guy? Forsythe?
Yeah, William Forsythe. Was that his first movie? I'm looking at it right now.
I like
Above the Law was his first movie, and then
Silence of the Lambs is good.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs, yeah.
I saw that in the movie theater, and not knowing what I was going to see, and then I was first of all, serial killers scare the crap out of me, but that movie, because the serial killer liked the big girls, I was so scared.
Well, you know what he was doing? He was weighting them down and taking their skin outfits. The sick nut. Yeah, I thought it was very clever how she caught him and stuck to Lecter's plan, how he covered it. And so the first victim was the first person he killed, he dumped in the river like that. One of the last girls he dumped to throw them off. But once they realized that was the first girl he killed and she honed in on that, then she went looking for Miss Moffat. Remember, he answered the door. He's like, "Was she like a great big fat person or something?" He's like, "Excuse me, is Mrs. Winthrop here?" And he's like, "I don't know. She's like a great big fat person." He was a weird dude. Oh my God, the way he talked. He played a good psycho, ain't it? Didn't he play a good psycho? Yeah. And I'm not talking about the degenerate stuff, like him talking. Like, "I got the card over here," and he starts laughing and stuff.
Yeah, see, that movie scared me.
Emory, did you ever see Blood In, Blood Out?
Yeah, Vato Locos forever, man. Migalo.
That movie's brilliant, dude.
That was it's a cult classic. It's funny as hell. Yeah. Little Mikolo. I am Vatos Locos Holmes. That was a great movie.
Give me some chon chon.
Yeah, give me some chocha. And then he became friends with him again. I'm like, I don't get it. This guy tried to take your chocha, and you became friends with him again.
He didn't really trust him or like him, but they were just in the same gang.
They were they had to live together when he got out. Papa and
they rats him out. Yeah, he gets him arrested again.
Papa ain't gonna tell him, people. That was a good one. Blood In, Blood Out. And how about South Central? That was sort of like a bootleg, like.
I remember that movie. Yeah,
that was
Goose, right? That was the name of the game.
OG Bobby Johnson. How about when the little kid's going, "Thanks, Ray Ray," when he's like selling the big gang member these little like car radios he stole out of a car. It was just insane. Funny stuff with that guy Loco. He was like whacked out on PCP.
Yeah.
Because they used to smoke that stuff out there. That's formaldehyde. That burns your brain cells.
What does?
It's called PCP. It was widely used in like the gang culture in LA. And they used to dip the tips of the cigarette in the formaldehyde and smoke it. And they would get some sort of crazy hallucinogenic high, and they would take their clothes off.
Embalming fluid. Yeah.
Yeah, and go nuts.
That's what movie is that?
South Central. He's talking about.
Yeah, it's an old movie from the 90s, low budget movie from the 90s that like that and Blood In, Blood Out, that's like people my age would have watched.
Blood In, Blood Out got screwed over that movie because that should have been like, like the Mexican, I don't want to say the Mexican Goodfellas, but a Mexican, Godfather, whatever.
I wouldn't say it was that realistic, you know what I mean? They could I would say
it was a fictionalized version of the Mexican Mafia, the Aryan Brotherhood, and the Black Guerrilla family, but it was, but it got screwed with the distribution because I think Disney owned it or something, and then it didn't get like the proper release, and people didn't even know about it, and it was just.
I thought American
Yeah.
I thought American Me was better. And you know that people actually got killed because of American Me? The Mexican mob was so mad that they
put the gay scene in the movie. That's why.
Yes, that they portrayed the guy getting raped, which was a lie. That they portrayed that they actually put hits out on the guys in the cast. They even killed like a producer or something to that.
They killed the technical consultant.
That's
and
right.
Who was a woman, and then I think they killed 2 members of La MA that had helped her or something, that were like the creative consultants behind the scenes.
Oh,
They killed
really?
the 2 of them, and they put a hit on Edward James Olmos, and then he was subpoenaed to testify about it later on at some Mexican mafia trial, but he refused to testify. And the word is that they extorted him. He had to pay them millions or whatever. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, American Me was how it was showing how not how the Mexican mob was formed, how like the Norteños and the Sureños were formed, I believe. Yeah. And since they did that, now that movie was way more realistic than Blood and I love Blood and Blood Out. Don't get me wrong, but the American Me was more realistic. Like I thought. And I thought it was.
I like Blood and Blood a lot better. American Me.
Well, I think it's more entertainment. I think Blood and Blood Out's more entertaining, but I think American Me is like more factual and serious than that movie. But still good, 2 good classics for sure. The Godfather was based on. Of course it was. Of course it was. Without a doubt. I got a new guy. Everybody wants
to go back to Italy and kill that guy. I forget his name. Yes, I did.
To him, how about when he said that he was literally going to work for the CIA when he was talking to them kids? That was bizarre.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, when he was with Jerry Capiche, he had a thing. He actually said, in the future, I want to work and help the CIA also. Things like that, He said that,
God.
At the end of the speech, he says it. With the kid.
Yeah, that was you mean Anastasia, not Capiche.
Yeah, I get those guys.
Yeah, I know
all the time. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe because they're 2 old dudes that write or something.
He really said he wanted to help the CIA. I just can't.
Yeah, he really said that. Yes. Yeah, someone asked like, "What else would you like to do or something or help or whatever?" He's like to help kids, maybe help the CIA, anybody, help America. He was giving like some big. Like little how great he is thing. He's got a new Felix finally left him and told him to hit the road, Jack. So now he hooked up with Forever Young. Pretty and petite. Greasy and petite because of the hair. And that little feminine creature, he looks like an elf or like a fairy elf from like Lord of the Rings, that girl character. But he's going to platform, and he already put up like John A-Light's show on his channel, and A-Light's with a big cigar in his mouth. And they just, it's just like unbelievable. Like he can't do it on his own because he doesn't have the tech stuff. And look at, you guys know this better than anyone. A-Light burns every bridge and every friend. There's not an enemy he has that he hasn't once called a friend in most cases. So it never lasts, and he can't do the tech stuff on his own. He needs someone to help. So he probably hit up the Paulie D kid and said, "Hey, listen." He's not really Paulie D, but Forever Young hit him up and said, "Hey, I need to be on a show." And do you remember when I did that episode, how he was in awe with A-Light? Like this guy thought he has met King Tut. King Tutankhamun himself. He's like, "Wow, this is like Pablo Escobar. Amazing. Thanks for asking." It was very, very, just the way he was looking at him. He was in awe of A-Leto. He thought Leto. Huh?
Oh my God. He said, "I seen John at a steakhouse once and he ordered chicken." Who does that?
Well, John A-Light's at Fenway Park with a football helmet looking for Wayne Gretzky for instruction. That's how crazy that guy is. Like, he's 6 short of a dozen.
Oh my God.
Like, he's out of his mind. His little like orangutan brain. Orangutans are way smarter than him, but he's short smart. I think you said that before, Chris, on my show. He's short smart. You know what I mean? You remember that?
Chris,
you there? I think we lost Chris. He's
I know I'm here. Yeah, he's short term
Oh,
smart. Yeah.
Chris, are
Yeah,
you
he's short
paying
smart.
attention, or you still? What is it that you're reading?
I'll tell you right now.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Crocodile Dundee. Crocodile.
Well, what is
That's
that?
a knife. That was Crocodile Dundee.
Dundee.
Oh my God.
That was a good pot, though. And I have a Bowie knife like that big, too, because I collect, like, knives and stuff. And my cousin actually made that. I'm not even joking or lying with this like I usually do. My cousin actually made me a knife. Like, he cut the steel out. He got a wooden handle, made the hilt, everything for me. And,
Really?
and he even sold the leather, like, sewed it up, and I got a pouch for it. Yeah, it's a real nice Bowie knife. I got it on my wall. I love collecting all kinds of historical stuff like that. Or even like Bowie knives are cool. But that's the same knife that Crocodile Dundee had. A huge knife. Now, if he would have got arrested in New York with that knife, he would have been in big trouble. I'll tell you that. Because that guy pulled a switchblade on him. He's like, hey, man. And then he just pulls out this thing's like almost a sword, like would hack you to death. Dundee's knife.
I'm curious, Georgie Grasso. What?
That way, you know why? Because, like, you and I, we don't know each other so good.
What are you doing now?
Sucking your thumb when your brother was around town sucking dick.
Gino.
It's the same. You shouldn't talk so tough, all right? If my brother was here, you wouldn't talk shit like that. Yeah, but he's not here. And you know why he's not here? Why? Because he's a chicken shit fucking pussy asshole. You know?
Chris, what are you playing?
He's playing, that's Gino, out for justice, going to talk to Richie's brother, looking for Richie at the pool room.
Yeah, I remember that movie. I don't like that guy.
Didn't he rat on your brother or something? Or
He didn't rat
uncle?
on my brother. He ratted, I don't know, on one of my uncles. I don't even know. But what year did your father upgrade John A. Light to street boss? Well, Chris is the
40 AD.
Yes, he
22 BC.
Yes, Georgie Grasso. What he replaced it, and what it's not Hitman anymore?
What happened? Hitman?
Yeah, Georgie Grasso said that they took his new show, they're rebranding him, and it doesn't even say Hitman anymore.
Now give him time. It'll be Assassin by next week.
Yeah, Black Ops Assassin next week. He'll be a Mossad agent in a few weeks. He's got to always leech on to a new person to help him go along. And I can't, that's why I can't find the channel. I keep typing in and I just can't find it. But I got to go watch a couple of the episodes and check some funny stuff out. Now, he's going to have that petite little fragile tulip strike me, but one strike I can deal with, because I still got one strike left on me from Aletto. I still got one Aletto strike left. It goes away. No, it's a Panisi strike. My Aletto strike is gone. I have one.
We created law. The seven of us.
He's gonna be in the next Call of Duty game. Mobland. It's gonna be in the next Call of Duty. You know what? He would actually think that is right and be like, yeah. If they went up to him, like you could go up to him and be like, dude, we need you to say that you were literally protecting the Queen of England and you're all this, so we're gonna back you on. He'll go with anything. Just the lies that he'll.
I heard. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh no, I was done.
Oh, I heard somebody ask on here, like, why do we? It feels like they think we constantly attack him. Could you imagine?
Attack him?
We attack A-Light.
Oh, I wouldn't say you attack A-Light. You would just defend yourself against them. I would say that I just call him out his hypocrisies and show his voice and him lying.
Right.
Call it an attack, I guess, but it's like it's on YouTube. If you're on YouTube saying certain things, other people have the right to push back. I don't make fun of his daughter. I don't make fun of his family. I don't make fun of nothing like that. So.
Well, I know. But maybe if they were in one of our shoes, like Chris or mine, they would understand.
Yeah. Well, maybe they would if they were, but I guess they can't put themselves in that shoes. I guess they should try though. Think if somebody was doing that to your family.
Hey, listen, guys, I gotta take off. I'm not really even commenting here anyway. So, but
I had fun bullshit with you, man.
Yeah, it's the giveaway. So.
He's a character.
I just clicked him out.
Did you? I thought he left like that. Oh,
Angel, you think you're funny, don't you?
He's a nuts.
I forgot he has the tools to come back in.
I thought he left. That was funny. Like a funny
No, I clicked him
exit.
out. He's just sitting there breathing, reading, and then playing music.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
At night. That was funny. Yeah, he was playing the Out for Justice movie.
I don't know why.
Well, it was because we were talking about it, probably.
Yeah.
And it probably made him want to watch it. Because some people, when you're even me, if I'm reminded about a good movie or something that I haven't seen in a while, and somebody talks about it, I have to go watch it. And if that means I got to walk barefoot across town to watch it, I will watch it. Well, not really, but I will watch it. I'll walk across hot coals.
Now, what is this? Do I even remember A-Light as a kid? First of all, we weren't kids. I'm only a year older than him. So do I remember him? Yeah. I think the first time I ever met him was at my sister's wedding. So no, I know he tries to say he was around us since 82 and 83. That's a lie. I met him in 84 for the first time at my sister's wedding.
And you met him through your brother-in-law, right? Who had 33 other guys as a best man also.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's big to know, because people think that he was your brother-in-law's best man, only best man.
No, that's not true. My brother-in-law had two brothers, and then my brother. So, and he had, like I said, they had a king's wedding. So there was no, I was the maid of honor, and then it was all men.
And for people who don't know what a king's wedding, that is when you have many grooms and first men.
Yeah, you just have all men.
I'll tell you right now what a king's wedding is.
Here we go. He bounced right back in.
Something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here.
There's something wrong with you.
All right, have a good night.
That was the Amanda Berry woman when we were talking about earlier from the case with the girls.
Yeah,
that's the guy's.
It is. He sent it to me 7 times.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you knew it. He's like, why did you just play that? All right.
It was only 2 times, and it was different interviews that he did later on.
No, it wasn't. Okay. It was more.
No, it was only 2 times. Goodbye.
Okay. So anyway, he was King's wedding. Yeah, you have all men and the maid of honor, and then the little flower girl. And that's the first time I met him.
A-Light was he a good flower girl that day?
Yeah, he was the ring boy. He was the ring boy.
Because the story, and you never, and all right, when you met him, did he have the mullet and stuff, the funny mullet?
I just want you to know that he's not even here, and he's still highlighting on the comments.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah, this is Chris. This is Chris. I'm not highlighting the comments. He is, just so you know. But anyway, so he was the ring boy. Anyway, and then I saw him, I don't know, here and there. They weren't that close. They were here and there. And then there was a time when they did get, like a little closer, where I still didn't see him that much. But I remember, I'm trying to think. He wasn't at any wedding. He likes to say he was at all our weddings. He wasn't.
Well, there were pictures of him at the wedding, though.
No, there weren't. Whose wedding?
Remember he posted some picture at a wedding that he was in? I don't know whose wedding it was, but he posts a picture of a wedding and he always brags about it.
Oh, that was probably my sister's in '84.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, and he was at my brother's wedding. That's it. Now I had not a communion, a baptism for my son in Frankie was born in 80. So he was 84 was the baptism. Eli wasn't there. He says that he was at all our parties. He was not there. And my son's baptism started at 3:30 in the afternoon and ended 5 o'clock in the morning.
So your son was born in 84?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Same age as a few of my family members. I'm older than him.
Yeah.
By a few years. I'm not going to tell, though.
You know, and then again, I'll say this again because some people like to, ignore this. My brother has 6 kids. Scars is a godfather, and few of his friends are godfather. Alight's not a godfather.
Good point. If they were that close, as Alight says, wouldn't he have been picked as a godparent?
Exactly. So he's full of it. They were not that close. They were close, like.
Even Alight admits that sometimes. Sometimes Alight will admit in some interviews they weren't that close, and then other times he would say they were like brothers. They were married.
Yeah, that's
how insane he is.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, listen, they weren't that close, and now he's trying to say that he was close with my father. Like I said this a million times, he never had a conversation with my father. He may have, seen him here and there.
What about the murder? I don't mean to cut you off, Angel, but a lot of people care. What about him shooting the guy in front of your house?
That never happened.
Wouldn't it have been on the news?
Never, ever, ever happened. It was never on the news. There was never anything. First of all, my father was the most surveilled man in the country. Okay. And Howard Beach, my whole block, they loved my father. They loved my family. If somebody would have gotten shot, do you know how they would have been, like, the block would have been devastated that something like that could happen?
Yeah, true. And the news would have been there. Local news.
News. One time when Eli first came out with that story, it was just only a few years ago.
Yep, it's new.
Yeah, I tweeted James Comey and I said, hey, Comey, how come it wasn't on the news? Or how come you guys didn't come when John Alight shot this guy in front of John Gotti's house? And he totally ignored me, which I knew he would.
Who is Comey? Who is that?
He was the FBI agent, James Comey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's so ridiculous. It really is so ridiculous to say you shot somebody in front of John Gotti's house. Are you crazy?
Well, that's a real outlandish story that I don't know why he would even say that. At first, I thought he said it was a UPS man. That's what I thought he said.
Yeah, he changes it. You want to say whatever, but to say you even knew my father.
How about to say your father sent him to break down like some old mob guy?
So crazy. That's so crazy. So nuts.
Or this waiting for the call, and then and that's when he got challenged on it for the Castellano hit. He's like, "Well, Junior told me about it." Like, why would they tell John Gotti your brother wasn't a mob guy at that time? He knew nothing about that stuff. He was a teenage kid. What the hell?
Yeah, never. He changed his story up. First, he said it was in a restaurant. Then he said it was in. Then he changes it now to he was in somebody's house.
A Lucchese guy's house. He was waiting for the call after it was done. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, the whole thing is crazy. But this Angel they put yellow ribbons in front of your house? Yes, they put yellow ribbons in front of a few of my neighbors did too. And then they did it on 101st Avenue also. All the people put yellow ribbons out there.
Now, does your family still own that house?
Yes.
All right. So you still have family members that live in the house.
Yes.
Oh, do they have any dogs?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I remember what the house looked like and stuff. And if somebody got shot in front of that house, the neighbors are very close to each other. You got houses on the side of you.
Yes. It's not
So-
like they have big pieces of property. They don't have big pieces of property at all over there.
And you know what his explanation was? It was they asked him, they go, well, did John Gotti get mad at you? And he goes, yeah, he did. But when I told him why he did it, he understood. Like, dude, like that just sounds so insane. Like, you don't think the guy would get mad you just killed someone in front of his house?
Of course. Are you crazy?
He would have freaked out.
Anything. Nobody. No one did any. That's so.
God forbid, what if those
My father was
bullets?
so strict, like so overprotective, like really.
And think about this: what if those bullets ended up hitting houses? Like if it, like we know it's a lie, but in his
100%.
mind, he doesn't even realize like these houses are close in. Like if I shoot somebody right here, the bullet's going to kill it. Might hit an innocent person, but his lies take over in his fantasy world of emotions. He can't help himself.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's crazy. I when I see somebody like Tom LaVecchia say, "Oh, I have homework to do," I mean, give me a break. Oh
Yeah,
my God!
He knows
Homework
A-lights.
you have to do.
He's got to know A-light's full of it. He's just trying to keep like on a nice level with them, so they're not enemies. But no, everybody knows the guy.
No, Callie G, you're wrong. You're wrong. 83, my brother was still in military school. No. But anyway.
80. Oh yeah, what year was your brother born?
My brother was 64.
Oh yeah, he would have been a teenager, right? Like in high school.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
so his high school was military school, is what you're saying?
Yeah, my brother went to military school.
4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he graduated military.
Yeah, then I don't think there's going to be a captain in the mob. They're not going to take no teenager.
Yeah, no.
And I don't even the guy wasn't even from what I know, wasn't even a mobster then or nothing. He was a kid. And why would he know about the castle? Why would John Gotti tell his son, his teenage son?
It's a lie.
Exactly. It's so outlandish where only in the world of like insane mob groupies and psychos that would think A-Light really knew about that. You got to be insane to think he knew about anything.
Yeah, he probably did graduate in 82. I'm trying to remember when I got married in 83. So yeah, he was home by then. Okay, I was wrong, but it wasn't he wasn't anything back then, 83. He was 19 years old. Right? He was 19 years old. He wasn't even 20 yet.
Yeah, that's still a young kid. I don't know how old. What year?
74, 84. Yeah, 19 he was in 83.
All right, I seen the documentary on your brother. He was inducted into the mob in 89. So, well, that's what I seen on there. That he was inducted in on 89. So I highly doubt he would have known anything about stuff like that. They're not gonna tell some young kid about murders and stuff. That's just that's all fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But all I know is that I sat through the trial. I sat through all his trials, and I know that A-Light is a liar. And A-Light got caught in almost every lie on that stand.
Look what the jurors said about him.
Yeah.
They didn't like him at all.
No, exactly.
He's not a likable person.
No.
Not at all a likable person. And especially when you see through the lies, you're up there as a juror seeing the lies. It's like right out in the open.
No, exactly.
How can you believe somebody? And like if someone lies to you 2 or 3 times, are you going to believe their third, fourth lie? No. Highly doubt it. Well, Angel, this has been, you don't want to really do your streams 4 or 5, 3 or 4 hours.
No, I know.
This has been going 2 hours and 27 minutes, so that's good.
I know.
That's long too. Well,
I know it's very long. But Chris had to tell his he was only coming on for 15 minutes.
Well, it was fun to have him on. I had a good time.
No, it was fun. It was fun. I tease him, but it was
he's
fun.
funny.
Yeah.
But I want to say thanks for having me on.
No, thank you, because this wasn't planned either. So thank you.
Just in the future, just go easy on the clown stuff and bringing up stuff about Sissy and my past.
I won't bring it up again.
Yeah, it just
I won't bring it up again.
It hurts. No, I can't. But yeah, thanks for having me on. All right, God bless everybody in the chat.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. And
share
thank
this
you so much. When does my nephew come home? I think next year. We'll find out in a few weeks, but I think next year. Let me see. I didn't even say hello to everyone. I'm sorry, but thank you. Thank you, Bafa. Thank you, Anthony. Georgie, Drito. Thank you all so much. MJ, Vikings, Georgie, BK Sal. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you so much. And good night, Jen. Good night, everyone. Thank you.